That's my dude. I rolls with him.
You heard what the man said. It's Flight Sports TV.
Flight Sports TV, that's where it's at.
Flight Sports TV.
What's going on, people? It's Flight Sports TV. I appreciate everybody out there for checking with me. You already know what it is. We back with another one of them things. I want to appreciate everybody in the chat right now. Good God, our good God Almighty. I'm telling you right now, man. I love y'all, man. I love y'all to death. Salute to Juju. Salute to everybody in here early. Shout out my man Unstoppable. Shout out Kaka. The Bulls aren't doing nothing next year. Free Zoe. We're going to get all into that. Shout out to the Shy. Shout out to my guy Sky from New Orleans. Shout out my man JR. He was in here early. Shout out Basil. He always the first guy in there. I'm telling you. Salute to my man. Shout out Supersonics. Let's not waste no more time. It's Flight Sports. Listen, we're going to have to discuss some things now. Now, we done touched a whole lot of shit. Now it's time to get to see Red Nation. Now, like I said, I'm about to take all the gloves off right now. We discussing ZO2. I ain't even got time to play or joke around or laugh or none of that funny shit. You understand? I do not like what I'm seeing right now coming out of Chicago. I'm really displeased with the amount of guards on the rotation that these guys are piling in. You know, the list goes on. I could name a few of them, already. We got, who the hell did they just sign? Didn't they just draft this kid, Dallin Terry? We're going to get into his stats. You know, he's a nice size guard. So it's going to be problematic out there. He's not ready, but they got a collection of other talent that's out here as well. You got the Kobe Whites of the world. You just signed my man Goran Dragic. We're going to get into it all because I'm telling you, the pieces, they fit well. But like I said, ZO2, I'm telling you right now, you ain't going far unless we're going to get all into it, man. I don't want to kill my Bulls fans. Shout out to C Red Nation. But we all know when Lonzo Ball went down, what the hell happened? Let's not trick ourselves. Let's not be foolish. Okay? We got a star-studded panel and we got a star-studded chat.
Don't hold back, man.
No, we ain't never get started yet. I ain't gonna hold back. Shout out my man Dex, All Access. What's the deal, Dex? Talk to the people. We live. It's Flight Sports.
Yes, sir. Shout out to Flight Sports TV, the machine, the people's champ, the voice of the voiceless. We're here today. Shout out to the panel. We're here today. Shout out to the chat. We're here today, and shout out to everybody that's rocking with us and listening and viewing this live stream, and it's gonna, hold the fort down on the other side. We're here today.
That's facts. Unstoppable. What's the deal, Unstoppable? Straight from the rack. We couldn't have no better representation than that.
What's up? Shout out to you, Flight. Shout out to Dex. Shout out to the chat. You know what I'm saying? I'm ready to talk this Zoe and this Bull stuff that's going on, man. I told you, don't hold back, bro.
Well, like I said,
man. Don't spare nobody, man. Because you don't get spared when it comes to them Knicks. Don't spare us when it comes to them Bulls, man.
No,
what's on your mind?
Well, what's on my mind is Lonzo Ball gonna have to beat out a couple of these guys that's on this roster like he's done on numerous occasions. We all know what happened back in Los Angeles. You know what happened back in New Orleans. This has been documented. Every team Lonzo Ball has been on, it's been some wild collection of guards. As you can see, that second year. The first year, he definitely had his own show. That second year with LeBron, obviously, you had LeBron playing all five positions. That was troubling in itself. But when they signed Rajon Rondo, mind you, Lonzo Ball was nursing a little situation. I believe it was a meniscus after the rookie season, similar to, what's happening right now to present day. when Lonzo Ball dropped down in that roster, if I'm not mistaken, that game one in Portland game, that his year two, he was not the starting point guard that game one. Or even though he definitely made training camp and he balled the hell out, he missed that game. The first game LeBron played in Portland, Lonzo Ball came off the bench. You know, he hit his first shot and everything. He did all right. You know, he worked his way into that starting lineup. Obviously, some guys went down. Lonzo Ball upped his 3-point percentage like in like a few games after that. It wasn't too long where he was inserted into the starting lineup and never looked back. You know, so the truth is in the pudding. I'm telling you, you guys got to do your homework when you discussing Lonzo Ball ZO2. And if the people that's out there know exactly what I'm talking about. You know, but up into present day, you won't have to worry about Lonzo Ball going to the bench. This is Lonzo Ball's team. He will be the point guard. But the thing is, I think I like what's going on, because even when he was with the Lakers, it was like some type of fire underneath him, because they was always trying to like fool around with Rondo. It was times where maybe Rondo would close a game. It was getting problematic. But eventually Lonzo Ball snatched his job and his position. You understand? Similar to what he's going to do right now, you know, with the Chicago Bulls. We all know what happened. You know, the debacle. You know, what took place out there in Chicago, Illinois. Let's not be silly. You know, so you know, Lonzo Ball is the guy that's going to lead this helm. And I think he's going to be able to help some of these younger guys on this roster. I wouldn't be surprised if the Chicago Bulls make a major move involving some of these point guards that's on this roster. Remember, I said that it's Flight Sports. What's your thoughts on this that I'm talking about right now? Dex, what's your thoughts? Give the people your opinion.
Yes, sir, Flight. Thank you for passing the mic to me. It's almost incredulous to the fact that Chicago will create a logjam at point guard, and you're putting your star point guard in a difficult situation mentally, because you already know the history of Lonzo having a logjam at point guard. It messes up the minutes. It messes up the incongruent of the team. It messes up the augmentation of the team, because when you have a player like Lonzo who did so much for the Bulls in the first half of the season, and unfortunately he got injured, and the Bulls start to slip, and a lot of people attribute that slippage to the injury of Lonzo. So it was like one and the same. Lonzo get injured, the Bulls slip. When Lonzo was healthy, the Bulls thrive. So they was trying to pick up the pieces and try to finish the season strong, but they wasn't able to, because a certain portion of that success was missing. It's like when if you're trying to start a fire. If you're going to start a fire, you're going to need all the ingredients to start the fire. You follow what I'm saying? The oxygen, right, the gas, and everything to that nature. But if you remove one element of that ingredients to start a fire, no matter what you do, you won't be able to ignite a fire. So with this logjam at point guard, you're putting your team in a perilous situation, based on most of these guys are not skillful enough to play with the likes of DeMar DeRozan, the likes of the Zach LaVines, the likes of the Vujicic. You follow what I'm saying? Because these guys are in an intolerable state right now, because they didn't do what they wanted to do as individuals, and as a collection of a team and organization, they met part of their goal, but the ultimate goal is to win a championship. And they fell very, very short on that. So these guys do not have time to waste to babysit other people that are trying to insert themselves in a lineup. And that's why it's a disservice. What the Bulls supposed to have done, to me, was drafted a need. You follow what I'm saying? Because they don't have the top 5 draft choice. So when you got top 5 draft choice, then you draft the best talent available and you work around that. But since they were bottom in the drafting, then you draft your need. And you don't need a point guard. What you need is maybe a young guy who could be a project. You follow what I'm saying? To build him to rebound, the shot block, to rim run, and things of that nature, because that is easy to insert and to integrate into your lineup. Somebody that's just a rim runner that's not calling for the ball, don't need no plays and things of that nature. Unlike a point guard, is one of the most difficult items to integrate into a lineup because there's so much swirling around in the point guard's head, and he have to be quick thinking right down to the modern day times according to that on the basketball court. So that right there I thought was shocking, and I'm echoing the sentiments of Casey Johnson because he thought it was shocking for the Bulls to go in and grab another guard, expect one of your projects and it's coming along strong. Why interfere with his growth and development?
Good point. Good point. Unstoppable. We got Unstoppable and my man Marvin in here. We got Chicago done rolled in here something serious. Yo, Marvin, you got to fix your mic, man.
All right.
I don't know who shit is that. You know, yeah, Unstoppable. What's the deal?
Yo.
Yeah.
I mean, I kind of get what you guys are saying. Sorry, excuse me. I kind of get what you guys are saying. I mean, it is a lot of guards, but it's only like 2 things came to mind when he did this. One was a trade. A trade must be in the rumbles. You know what I'm saying? Getting ready to happen. And 2, maybe they feel like, okay, maybe Zoe won't be all the way healthy come tip-off, and they doing this for insurance. You know, I don't think none of these guards are better than Zoe. I'm pretty sure everybody thinks that.
And you're a Bulls fan,
right? You know, and I think he'll be fine. Like I said, even though it is a lot of guards, but I'm more so there's a trade happening. And 2, when you kind of think about it, Dragic might be the best backup when it comes to running that second unit.
I like Dragic at that position, being a good backup. He's going to be a high quality backup.
Right, to give Lonzo some good minutes. I just think everybody's panicking. We all need to pump the brakes, slow down. Remember, Chicago wanted Zoe since he entered the draft. I don't see them just doing this because they try to screw him over right now. There's a reason behind all of this. So I just think we all just need to calm down. Just let's see what happens. But I'm saying trade, and a little part of me again is saying he might not be healthy come tip off, and this is just a nice little pickup for them to have a true point guard to run a point.
Yeah, well, this kid Dallin Terry, who you just drafted, I'm not sure if you're familiar with him. He went to Arizona. He's 6'7". He's a guard. You know, he's like a combo guard. You know, I'm pretty sure that he's going to need some touches. I mean, well, what's your thoughts on this kid? Are you familiar with him? He's averaged 8 points in college. You know, nothing too crazy.
I mean, I like him for what I've seen. I think he's nice. He did some stuff that kind of remind me of Zoe, but the front office already said they don't see him. They don't see him as a point guard. They see him as a wing.
Yeah, because he is 6'7". I mean, they got him labeled as a point guard on a couple of different stocks here, but definitely a guard. I'm not familiar with this kid's game at all. Like I said, I just see guards being piled up along with the situation happening with Zach LaVine and DeMar DeRozan. You know, they need their handful of touches. You know, so I just start to think about all of the other shit. What about some of the other guys that's been there? Some of the veteran guys, obviously, Kobe White, Ayo Dosunmu.
Well, Kobe White, I think if they find a good enough trade,
His name keeps popping up. His name keeps flying in trade rumors. It's crazy.
Yeah, it is. But they said from the talks is that they basically didn't like the trades that was offered for Kobe. So, as Marvin stated, numerous amount of times, players usually ball out their contract year. So this is either going to help us or hurt us. And if he wind up balling out, they might just keep him. And if not, then they just gonna let him walk, probably for nothing, or try to do a sign and trade and basically still get nothing for him. You know what I'm saying? So yeah, I think he's out of there also. Um, I think come trade deadline, this team gonna look a little bit different. So like I said, yeah, man, I'm not worried at all, bro.
Yeah, me neither.
So good. That's spot his. You know what I'm saying?
We
Everybody,
got Nico Savage in the building. Wait,
what up, Nico?
Yo, what's good with y'all guys?
what up? You see the logjam happening out here in Chicago. What's your thoughts? It looks like Lonzo, he's going to be in a competitive battle. You know, what you thinking, man? Because I know you was very animated, you know, this season about the C Red Nation. You know, you voiced your displeasure on numerous occasions. Talk to us.
You know what? I'm glad that you remember that, because I remember faithfully talking about the fact that Lonzo Ball was out and Kobe White was starting at point guard, and I always mentioned the fact that I think it was Apply That Pressure, or it was somebody in the comments talking about that Kobe White played well with Vucevic, and the fact that Vucevic was doing very well with Kobe White starting. I was
I think
saying
it's
that
proved me wrong, bro.
thank you, appreciate that. Prove me wrong. The fact that Kobe White was doing well with Vucevic, I was saying that this isn't just a clean slate for Lonzo Ball to come back and be the guy immediately. And I want to be very honest and objective about Lonzo Ball, which is also why I'll never tell you he's trash. But the thing is, the way that the team works is it's always going to be about the fit. So if he's making one of the all-stars better, then Kobe White might secure that spot. Now they drafted a whole new point guard, right?
Well, I mean, he's looking like a combo guard. Unstoppable said he was going to use him at forward. He said some Chicago mentioned something. I don't
Yeah,
catch enough of his reports. I'm just going to take
AK.
Unstoppable's word for it.
Yeah, AK. I believe it was AK. He talked about it. He said, yeah, even though he played combo guard and combo guard, excuse me, and in college, he sees him as a wing, but we'll see when the season starts. But like I said, I believe they're gonna put him at that wing more likely. He's gonna be a point forward, maybe, and run with that bench unit. But like I said, I don't think they got him to take Lonzo Ball's spot. I mean,
So he's more of a
they,
scorer.
yeah, well, he's like I said, what you call that a point forward. You know what I'm saying? He's gonna pass the ball, get his team involved, and if you need him to score, he's gonna score. Those are exact words. He helps whatever the team need him to do, basically. You know what I'm saying? So I don't think, like I said, we need to worry. They didn't draft him to eventually take Lonzo Ball's spot. I feel like, you know what I'm saying. I could be wrong, but I doubt it because they wanted those for the longest. You know what I'm saying? It's just unfortunate that
Yeah,
injury happened.
they went all out for Lonzo. They put the full court press. You know, that was really like his only team that he felt like really wanted him. You know, so it's very troubling. But I understand maybe their concerns. But like Dex was just stating, there were other areas of need. You know, that I felt like Chicago should have emphasized. You know, I don't know if Goran Dragic, like I said, I'm pretty sure he's going to pay dividends for the Chicago Bulls, hopefully. But there were other areas of need they could have prioritized other than looking for a backup point guard,
But they
especially
did that though,
Io
Frank.
DeSumo, who developing
Oh,
so supremely.
Unstoppable. They did
Not
that.
Kobe.
That's the
It was so
problem.
many other options.
What'd you say,
That's
bro?
the problem, man. Now I was saying they did that. They got other positions, but that's a problem that they're bringing in all these point guards behind it. Like, we'll just throw this out here, for example. You don't see the Golden State Warriors bringing in tons of point guards behind Steph Curry, because that's the fucking guy. I want the Chicago Bulls to respect Lonzo, but they brought in, what, 3 or 4 point guards.
But I think
And
you overlooking it. That's what I'm saying. Like, we overlooking this. I mean, let me ask you, who do you see as really a point guard on that team, bro? Like, come on now, let's be real. Who's
I mean,
really a point
Lonzo
guard on that team?
obviously is the purest.
yeah,
Right, Alex,
Lonzo,
go ahead,
yeah,
man.
look, we have to understand this. The way that we see Lonzo Ball is from the beauty of his ability to play basketball. Most people are stupid. They don't see him like we see him. So when they got Kobe at point guard, they got Ayo. They just drafted a nigga, and what they got Dragic now.
Wait. Say that again, bro. I kind of spaced for a second because I was doing something. Say it one more time. As far as the guards, they just got.
Well, they got Ayo running point guard. They got Kobe running point guard, and they brought in Dragic, right? And they also drafted a guy.
Well, come on, bro. We all know they don't see Kobe as no point guard, fam. Like he played more two than anything. It's the obvious. He's trash at running point guard. So you got to scratch him out, man. Ayo was decent or whatnot. And then, like I said, far as Dragic will be the best backup point for those two run with that second unit. I'm willing to bet they might do Dragic get the one, maybe Ayo is at the no Caruso at that two. And far as the three, it's probably gonna be Darren Terry, fam. So like I said, bro, I don't think this team's gonna look the same again, bro. I think, like I said, you're gonna see a trade. Too. They might try to.
Who could be involved in this trade? Let's get to the nitty gritty.
Depending on I think where Kevin Durant goes. But I know for sure.
Oh, wait a minute. Wait a second? Did you just say the Bulls trying to get into this Kevin Durant?
No. Well, they could be because reports did come out. They did call.
Yeah, they got DeMar. They got DeMar in the wings. He wasn't an MVP discussion.
But DeMar trade value is at all
yes
right now. So
it's not.
I said it is. It is at all.
Yes, it's as high as hell.
So they could entertain. They're trying to entertain that Kevin Durant trade. But I'm saying is, what I mean by this, like you said, shooters. Okay, let's just say they trade Kevin Durant. So we know once they trade Kevin Durant and Kyrie's out of there, let's just say Kyrie gone. So we know they about to go into a full rebuild. So now you can try to get some of them shooters over there, like a Steph Curry or a Jones Harris. You know what I'm saying? So they might try to do something with them. But I firmly believe Kobe White gonna be gone, fam. I don't see him on this team. And I think Ayo Sunu might be on this squad, but like I said, expect this stuff to look different.
We're gonna find out. We got Marvin in the building. Don't nobody talk about the Bulls better than Marvin. I'm telling you, Chicago is in the house. Marvin, what's the deal? Lonzo Ball looking like he may be in a logjam at point guard position. We hear possibly some trades popping off. I don't know. You know, I'm just hearing from Unstoppable. He's more closer to the situation. My main focus is ZO2. Marvin, what's your thoughts on this situation with this collection of guards? Should we be concerned or not? I believe Lonzo gonna beat out all of them. He will be the starting point guard, and he will hold some of these dudes off because he did that on numerous occasions. I stated back what he did in Los Angeles when they brought in Rondo, and I stated a few other occasions. Go ahead, Marvin.
Yeah, man, appreciate you passing the mic on to me, my brothers. Shout out to the chat, to the panel. Just out in Dallas, man, enjoying the lime life out here. It's a beautiful evening out here. And just want to say appreciate you having me on once again. I think this can be looked at in quite a few different ways, guys. It can be looked at as insurance policy. It can be looked at as 3&D. It can be looked at as mold of the way that general manager and the organization wants to run this team. I mean, listen, guys, Lonzo is an interchangeable part for anything, guys. You know, guys say it all the time. He's a Swiss Army knife. I mean, we hadn't seen him at small forward. That might be a surprise for us this year. I mean, picture him at small forward, you know, creating a mismatch there. I mean,
did you say that? Hold on, wait a second. Did you say you wanted to see Lonzo Ball as small forward?
What I'm saying is there's a chance he could. I mean, it's nothing wrong with it. He has the height. He might not have the strength, but it all depends on.
Just do me a favor. Can you repeat what you just said?
No, what I said, it could be a lot of. I didn't say that I want to see him there. I'm just saying with these interchangeable parts, we could. I mean, you never know. But I'm saying his position is.
Let me tell you something. If I see Lonzo Ball playing a small forward, forgive me, Bulls fans, your coach ain't safe.
In situations,
you mean he should need to get fired? immediately.
Right? No. If you got an interchangeable part, if it's working, you use it any way you want to.
Oh.
I'm not saying this is a focal point of nothing they're trying to do with him. Don't get me wrong. No. But I'm just saying that with the ideas. Also, I don't believe they brought all these guards in to keep them all. Listen, I believe before long, Kobe's going to go. That's going to be one guard off the board. Lonzo's starting position is point guard. He's going to play point guard 98% of the time is what I'm stating. But I'm just saying, with these interchangeable parts, you can do a lot of things. They're using 3-and-D and long players at 6'7", 6'8" in all different areas. But as far as his jeopardies or anything or his health, it's nothing wrong with that, guys. He's doing fine. His progression is great. And I think we're going to look forward to a great season from Lonzo Ball. But back to you, Flight. No, I don't want to see him at small forward. No. But I'm just saying, if you never know, you never know who gets in foul trouble. He is capable of playing small times in the game. I know extended time, don't get me wrong, but he is a Swiss Army knife. And I think the Bulls did a pretty good job. I think they held back on what they really wanted to do until they're going to try to hold back until the trade deadline. Now, they didn't address everything. I know the Mo Bamba thing is going to always come up, say they could have had it, but it would have actually took us over into the luxury tax, and I don't believe that's what they wanted to do. So let's see what they get done. I'm real anxious to see the summer league game that's coming up. Also, I think they play.
Yeah. I was just checking out the Laker game, but like I said, I'm about to lock into the summer league heavy. You know, it's crazy. There's a lot of teams. You see the Pistons about to touch down.
Yeah.
The Pistons about to sweep things up.
Yeah, I had a question for the panel because I was kind of I don't know, befuddled about the way the schedule is. They got teams playing back-to-back days when other teams are not playing until days later. How many games does each summer league team play?
Well, I'm not 100% sure. Maybe the chat or somebody on the panel could speak that. I don't want to give out any false information.
Yeah, because I was just, because I think who is that?
The Hornets did put out their schedule. Let me double check that.
Golden State and the Lakers have played 2 games already, I do believe, and Bulls hadn't played any. The Knicks hadn't played any. So I was just curious on how many games they played each team.
Yeah, the Bulls don't play till the 7th, Marvin.
Yeah, I know it. They play late. That's what I'm saying. But they play in consecutive days also. I think they play the 7th, 8th, and the 10th.
Do the Bulls only play 4 games in the summer league?
Yeah, see, I don't think it's very many games in the summer league.
Yeah, well, it used to be more than that.
Yeah, I don't think it's very many games. And they bundling them together also. So, but as far as Lonzo is concerned, I'm more concerned in making sure he get healthy. I'm pretty sure all Bulls fans feel the same sentiment that I have. And let's get him out there and let's see what happens. I mean, if you think about it, guys, you can look at this in more than one way. When the Bulls was healthy, they were a decent team. Now, I'm not saying they were championship ready, but they were decent. Let's see. We added one piece. I would say 1.5 with Drummond. But, that Dragic pickup is probably a little more sneaky than a lot of people think. He's a veteran point guard. Not to take any minutes away from Lonzo, but he's going to need rest. We all know that. Plus, we need somebody to stabilize that second unit. So I think that's a good pickup.
Can I get a little Lonzo Ball soliloquy real quick?
Go ahead, babe.
With the Bulls, I see it like this. I don't believe that getting all these point guards to take Lonzo's spot. That I have to make that clear. Lonzo Ball is let's say a generational point guard, because he's not only going to provide the ability to facilitate and give the ball to the right guys and be able to score when he needs, but his defense can never be understated. And what he brings at that position, being able to guard the 1 through 4.5, we'll call it that, and be versatile at doing it. The steal ability, the ability to not only to when he gets to steal, but to advance the ball and put people in position to score, and to be able to start a fast break in seconds. That's rare. Point guards don't do that. Actually, almost anybody doesn't do that. The ability to turn a turnover into instant offense and the ability to score.
I'm trying to tell you.
So the way that the Bulls are looking at this is, we're not trying to replace what he is as a player because we want him gone. It's because we don't know if he'll be healthy. That's all it boils down to. Because if we understand he's been healthy all the way until getting to the NBA, now we have to look at the recent 5 years of his career. He's been hurt every year. So even if we believe if he's played a certain way, he'll be healthy, a team has to protect their investment and make sure that if he goes down, we have somebody that can give.
But how many got there? How many they did? But they already had that. They got Durant. I mean, it's tough. I think one of these guys are getting traded. Maybe two of them. I agree with you, but it's tough, man. Like I said, I'm trying to listen to both sides of the story. I just feel like you have Io DeSumo developing. You have Kobe White. I don't think it was a need. How you think they feel? That they bringing in Goran Dragic. Just forget Lonzo for 1 second. What about them? They know Lonzo Ball is starting point guard. You had Kobe White balling out of his mind. He should feel offended. He should feel the worst, to be honest with you. Because Lonzo Ball, if he's healthy, he just walking straight into that starting lineup. You understand? And Kobe White, he could be on the chopping block or definitely getting his playing time significantly reduced.
Yeah, exactly.
Kobe White most likely on the chopping block.
You know what? Hey, before y'all continue, I do want to say this. Scottie Pippen Jr. ain't trash. He could hoop. Yeah. I'm pleasantly surprised. I just want to put that out there.
Yeah, you been watching Summer League, Nico?
Yeah, hey.
That's tough.
Hey, Junior can hoop. Junior got IQ. He got vision. And he shoot the ball when he got to. I'm not trying to say he's Lonzo Ball. But
no, don't stop.
Yeah, he's a shorty. He's a shorty.
I'll put it like this: a lot of these NBA children, as far as like NBA fathers and sons, they do get a lot of exposure to basketball in a different way than people who just are playing for their livelihood. So you can tell that he understands the game of basketball at a different level, and I love that.
Yeah, but are we
getting good?
Are we getting a bird's eye view of these guys in the summer league? I mean, we all know it's not the same level of talent. But yeah,
but you can tell though, Marvin. Yeah, you can tell the difference of who got it and who's struggling with it and who just really is just to fill the roster in.
Yeah, I mean, and pressure comes with that in a live NBA game also. I mean,
like Keegan Murray.
Yeah,
like that kid, he got it. Yeah. He's going to be really good for Sacramento. Matter of fact, that guy is going to put De'Aaron Fox on notice, and he could make De'Aaron Fox expendable. Because you got 4 years of this guy. You follow what I'm saying? For very little bit of nothing.
Yeah.
So those up in Sacramento, those people up in Cowtown, they better watch out. This Keegan guy, he the truth.
Well, I mean, that's a plus for the organization. You want to make sure they understand that that's a plus for the organization. Anytime you can bring a young player in that's going to cost the organization less money and it's put up the same production, you actually.
Oh, yeah, without a doubt. And plus, not only that, but listen, Marvin, this guy is a total package. He ain't no one-trick pony.
That's right.
I watched him destroy the Lakers today, and I watched him destroy everybody he played against, except one. He had 9 points, and I don't know what happened that game. Maybe he went out with his girlfriend that night. I don't know, but he had 9 points. He didn't do that well. But all the other games, top notch.
Yeah. I mean,
top tier ability.
I mean, that's a good thing that Summer League gives us a chance to look at our young players. But I want to go back to Flight's point about Lonzo. The key ingredient about Lonzo is health. We got to get him healthy, guys. And if he's healthy, look out. Bulls are decent. That's all I'm gonna say.
Well, I'm gonna tell you this right here. Let me hold on 1 second, Nico. Lonzo Ball has no worries. You follow what I'm saying? I know there's people want to interject negative stimulation on the kid, but he has no worries. If you don't like him, just say you don't like him. You follow what I'm saying? Just say, I don't like him. He light skinned. You know what I'm saying? He got all this money. He's cool. He's laid back. He want to be a rapper. He got some bars or whatever. Just say you don't like him. Don't try to make it like it's a injury issue. But I'm going to tell you this. This Dragic pickup, it doesn't cost the Bulls nothing.
Nope.
So where everybody's getting this alarm? Where the alarms are coming from?
Yeah,
he's making less than $3 million a year.
Yeah,
you follow what I'm saying? He's an old head.
He's a security blanket also.
No, he's not. He's not a security blanket. He's a favorite for Vooch. Let's keep it 100. That's Vooch homeboy. He's a favorite for Vooch, man. Vooch wanted him. Vooch spoke up for him. Vooch vouched for him. You follow what I'm saying? Because he was on his way out the league. And Vooch like, we might as well get him. Do something for me. You're doing something for everybody else. Hell, I'm an all-star at one time. I'm one of your key ingredients. Do something for me. Let me have somebody I can communicate with on the team. You follow what I'm saying?
Dex, the Bulls tried to get him this season though, but he signed with Brooklyn. They tried to get him.
But you can
Yeah,
say
that's Vooch. That's Vooch boy though. That's what
yeah,
I'm trying to say.
you can say he's a
That's the
small
internal
contributor.
support from Nikola Vucevic.
Yeah,
Keep
but you
that in mind. It's not like the Bulls like, oh, let's get Dragic. Oh my God, that's the answer. No, the
no,
answer is a healthy Lonzo Ball. That's the
yeah,
answer. A healthy Lonzo Ball. Anything outside of that, it's just a project. You follow what I'm saying? It's wishful thinking. So as long as Lonzo Ball come to the league healthy, which he is, he's good right now. He's doing alley oops and all kind of old stuff right now. So he's jumping. The bunnies are back, and we're gonna see Alonzo Ball thrust himself into this Bulls lineup like never before. Matter of fact, this is going to be the Lonzo Ball we're going to witness feasting off these little guards. Now, he was kind of coming around to that prior to the injury because he was hampering on them little guards, making it real difficult for him on the perimeter and things of that nature. Right. Now he got that little issue out the way. He got a little cleaned out. He got, he had the bone bruise. Okay. He got through with that. Now he know what he can do and what he can't do as far. Now he know how much pain, how much a stickler for pain he can be. So now when Lonzo come back, he won't be alarmed that if he's feeling a little pain or a little discomfort or whatever, he can play through it now. Because now it's all good. Now go back to Dragic. Dragic is somebody that's gonna coach Vucevic. Watch this. He's gonna be the Vinny Del Negro to the Dennis Rodman. He's going to be that voice. When Vucevic get a little frustrated and he can't communicate because his English is a second language, Dragic is going to be right there to talk to him, to pump him up, to let him know, man, you belong here. And you don't need to be like having these little anxiety syndrome. Go ahead, play basketball, have fun. And when you see DeMar come back, you already see DeMar in the Drew League. DeMar is going to be ready. He understands, okay, I had one of my best seasons last season. I don't know if that's going to translate into this season, but we know who what the pecking order is because Zach got the bag. Once Zach got that bag, that clears all doubt of what the pecking order is going to be. And so coming into next season, it won't be a scramble who's going to be the alpha. It's going to be Zach and the crew. You follow me? And then when it comes to the defensive stratagem and assignments, it's going to be Zoe in the crew. So basically, you're going to have Zach and Zoe. Zach offense, DeMar, of course, Zoe defense, and Alex, of course. And everything else should fall in. And if Billy Donovan don't get this right, hey.
He's finished.
Adios, amigos.
Hasta la vista.
Shout out
my man Marv. Your coach going to be on the chopping block, though, for real. Let them chart that bullshit offense again to see what happens.
I do want to say this when it comes to Lonzo Ball, right? The thing is, we all got introduced to Lonzo Ball in high school, right? The thing is, most people are attracted to the way the game is flashy, the way your ability to score is, your moves, just the optics, the things that sell the game of basketball. The thing that made Lonzo really, really popular was the instincts and the ability to do everything that sells the game of basketball. And right now, I feel like Lonzo Ball's offseason is tailored toward getting him back to the basics because he's just been playing a role. And I feel like this upcoming season, which is why I'm not worried about his starting position, you're going to see Lonzo Ball get back to the basics of what made him loved.
Yeah.
And he went right back home to get it. And he's going to get reminded. It's no better influence, no better push, and no better love than the person that showed you everything that you could be in the world. And he's getting that right now. And just to put this out here, when we watched the NBA Finals, right, everybody was talking about, the Boston Celtics are bigger, stronger, faster, younger. What we don't attribute to that is this basketball is about it's levels to this shit, bro. You can't sit here and think that's all that's going to win. The Golden State Warriors adjusted mentally and won that series. Right. So when you have the mental side of basketball down pat, which all of our brothers do, you're always going to be successful. And we're about to watch that take place right now.
And, I want to chime in on what that last statement you just said about the Celtics. Early in the season last year, the Bulls were the Celtics of the end of the season, guys. That's exactly what the Bulls are. Like the Celtics at the end of the season. The Bulls were playing good defense. They had long wings. They had, Boston has Tatum and Brown, and the Bulls had Zoe and Zach and DeMar, same type of players. And I think the Bulls actually kind of like Boston kind of emulated them, not intentionally because they had the same players, but they did. And I think if the Bulls can play that kind of basketball, the results could be the same, just like Boston went as far as they did this year.
I think emulating them is a very strong word.
Them niggas trash.
And I don't think you're putting enough weight on that, because I don't see no mimicking of the Boston Celtics whatsoever. Because the only thing you can say with the only semblance you can say is Brown and Tatum. You follow what I'm saying? But outside of that, I can't see it.
They calling Lonzo Marcus Smart again. I don't like it.
The Bulls' defense was basically ranked just like Boston, so you can throw that in the equation. You know, they didn't have the rim protection. No, they didn't, but they had that scrappy defense. So I'm just saying it's that mold. It's not emulating, not completely, but the mold of the team. I think it rimmed around the same, and that's a good thing. If you see how far Boston went, you know, so.
Yeah, I mean, you know, listen, we know the NBA is a copycat league. You follow what I'm saying? So maybe the East might try to mimic Boston in its totality. I don't know, because one thing that Boston had that separated them from everybody else, except the Heat, you follow what I'm saying, is a constant threat in rim protection. Now you can say Philadelphia had that as well, because Joel Embiid is definitely a defensive force, but a lot of times Joel Embiid get caught out of the target spot, and he'd be out there on the wing or up on the arc and things of that nature, because he has a well-rounded game, and Andre Drummond could not, you know, really cover for him the way that Philly wanted to, and that's why he was part of the trade. And then once Andre Drummond went over to Brooklyn, he was, you know, a no-show. You know, he was basically Casper the Friendly Ghost when it came to rim protection and grabbing the type of boards and putting backs and things of that nature to help Brooklyn get over the hump. And we know the results of that was a 4-game simulation, and it was done. You know what I'm saying? So I just think Boston right now is the marquee team in the East still. I think depending on what the Heat does as far as trying to grab Kevin Durant, that would shake up everything, and that would definitely put them in the forefront to be in the Eastern Conference Finals. But if things kind of stay the same and Durant goes to the Western Conference or something to that nature, I believe that Boston probably will find themselves again facing somebody in the Eastern Conference. And the results of that remains to be seen. Now, Chicago Bulls and Lonzo Ball. I believe Lonzo Ball is impervious to all of this white noise that's going on. He knows he has a lot of detractors and naysayers that's out there floating a lot of negative stimulation towards him and his injury-riddled first 2 years in the NBA and this Bulls campaign. But at the same time, you got to keep in mind that this version of Lonzo Ball that we getting ready to see is going to hurt a lot of people's heart. And then you're going to see them talk about how high his socks are, or why is he wearing that wristband. They ain't going to be talking about his game. They're going to be talking about the accessories that he wore, or what kind of car he drove, why he drive that car, why he didn't drive that, why he didn't drive the other car. They're going to find something, but it won't be about his game, because he already knows in his mind that this is it. These Chicago Bulls gave me an opportunity in a spotlight in a major pillar city, the third largest populated city in the United States, Chicago. And the people love them there. I go, you know, you guys already know I'll be in Chicago. You already know. I done showed you. I done gave you live footage of me there. So I ain't fronting. I ain't never got a lie to kick it. And sometimes I'll be in some of the worst parts of Chicago. Okay. But that's neither here nor there. But when I do hear people talk, whether in the grocery store or whether in the little liquor stores they have, or the markets, they don't really call them liquor stores, the little markets and store and stuff like that, barbershops, a lot of them, not all of them, not 100%, but I say at least 77% of the people that I encounter enjoy Lonzo Ball being a Chicago Bull, and calls everybody else suckers for not really giving this guy the chance that he deserves. You follow what I'm saying? Because no way we should be witnessing Lonzo Ball playing that tenaciously defensively with that high energy in half of a season when he was 2 years with the Lakers, 2 years with the Pelicans, and we didn't get that opportunity to get that high pitch defense. We didn't get an opportunity to get that high pitch offense. Where was the first 9 games that Lonzo Ball played in a Bulls uniform, stemming from preseason all the way into the first 4 games of the regular season before they ran into that brick wall in facing the New York Knicks. And then it seemed the offense started to kind of like change a little bit. Maybe people didn't have enough faith in Lonzo to really carry that past that Knicks game, and they kind of rely more on the ISO game with Zach and DeRozan, and which it helps. Chicago still was still winning and things of that nature, but they wasn't blowing people out. Most of those games was within a 7-point differential, whereas when Lonzo was actually running or controlling him, the points differential was 12.7 or 12.5. That is ridiculous because Golden State wasn't beating people by that much. And Golden State had like a 13-1 record before they lost their second game. So let's see how this unfolds. And regardless of what the naysayers say, and regardless of them promulgating their negative stimulation, Lonzo will definitely put a muzzle on that aspect of their hate.
Yes. And I agree. Healthy season of stop all the haters. Dick, you know that. Because there ain't been very many people that talk about his game when he is healthy. Now, you can actually say, you can talk that he hasn't been healthy, that because it is true. But when he's on the floor, he computes to a winning formula. And I think he will.
Good point, Marvin. Shout out to everybody that's in the chat. We're discussing Lonzo Ball right now. ZO2. You know, it seems to be a logjam at the point guard position out in Chicago. We're just trying to decipher through the chaos. But I'm here to let everybody know it's no big deal, you know, because ZO2 is going to beat out every goddamn point guard on this roster. Number one, he's walking right into the point guard position, and they can hold some of these dudes off. And some of these dudes going to get traded. Remember, we told you here first, Unstoppable stated a few claims. Marvin stated a few. Mind you, that's these guys are from Chicago, so nobody's going to know the Bulls better than these two right now, I'm telling you. You know, I think Kobe White is on their way out the door. I can see something big happening. You know, the Bulls got to get in these sweepstakes. I don't know how they missed out on Rudy Gobert. That was a lot of picks, too, that they gave up. I don't even know how many picks Chicago got.
They didn't have enough to do that.
They didn't. Yeah, they gave up a lot of picks. There was a lot to get Rudy Gobert. It wasn't that many chips.
How many picks he gave up to get Boots?
Somebody give me, listen, somebody help me here.
3.
Hey, can somebody help me here? Either Marvin or Unstoppable.
Go ahead.
Now I see an Ethan Thompson, right? Are you familiar with him?
Yes, I am.
Could you give me a rundown on Ethan Thompson?
He's a player that's been in our G League system for a while.
Mm-hmm.
He's not quite ready. He's got a little size.
Okay.
He's I know he sounds like, I'm pretty sure you're saying that because there was an Ethan Thompson once upon a time in the league. But no, he's a young guy. He's been on our G League in our G League farm system for a while. And he's a project also. I mean, the Bulls have a couple of projects down there. A couple of big guys.
Yes.
Too.
Yep, I see him. I see Malcolm Hill. Yeah. I see Marco. Yeah.
You know, they moved off of Matt Thomas. They moved off of another guy, I forgot his name. And I really believe Tony Bradley is just holding a spot right now until somebody can, till we can put him in a package and move him also. I think he's he's not real good, don't get me wrong, because I know Dex want to say how he's built. But he's not a good player, actually. And actually, we still got Tristan Thompson.
I mean, the Lakers would pick him up. You know, they picked up Tony Brown Jr.
You know, but, I mean, and what I mean by when I say Goran, in Goran's case, guys, to me, he can stabilize that second unit. I mean, don't get me wrong, I love Ayo. I love him to death. But you've seen plenty of times last year that, you know, when late in the season, Ayo got tired. So we need that stabilizing force also. And as far as Lonzo is concerned, health is number one. And if we can get that fully, look out, man. This guy here, he runs the floor. I was looking at a lot of tape on him earlier, even though I had seen it, just about everything already. But I just wanted to go back and analyze him again. And you can just see their energy on the floor when he's on the floor, man. I know it's been said that he sometimes go down and stand in the corner, but I didn't heard the putback on that, as he was our best shooter also. And I mean, you can look at it in so many different ways. But as far as running
Well,
it,
exactly. Exactly. Because listen, Marvin, I saw a MVP. I saw a 4-time triple double average a year guy stand half court. Didn't even only took about 5 or 6 steps past half court, and then allowed the Lakers to play a 4-on-4 basketball game. Now we know that this guy Russell Westbrook, LA native, is he bleed LA, he bleeds blue blood. This guy removed himself, not stand in the corner, not stand on an arc somewhere, but removed himself. And the defender had to come all the way out as well to face him. You follow what I'm saying? So he removed himself. He removed the defender. The Lakers was playing 4-on-4 basketball.
Yeah.
I seen this with my own freaking eyes. I couldn't believe it because I ain't never saw nothing like that. It was like a box on box, mano on mano, you know what I mean? He literally removed himself unless he got the ball and the play was for him to drive hard or something to that nature, drive hard or kick. But if his number wasn't called, he was not inserted into the involvement of that offense. Carmelo Anthony was, but even though Carmelo Anthony might have stayed in a little area, maybe 2 to 3 feet, move left, move right, from what I've noticed, but he was involved though. You know what I'm saying? He was on the block, he was in the midi section, and Carmelo Anthony was on the arc. But whatever position he was on the court, he only moved 2 or 3 feet either way. And so I was like, damn, this is odd. And of course the Lakers got their head smashed. You follow what I'm saying? But I thought it was an odd way to run a freaking offense. You know what I'm saying? And so when I thought about it, I was like, maybe Lonzo ain't standing in the corner because he's afraid to be preemptive. Maybe he was standing in the corner because it was designed for him to. Now, we know that we didn't like it, but if it's designed for you to create space for everybody that's in that fluff area, then what you going to do? You're gonna break ranks? If you break ranks, you probably be on the bench. So I was like, wow, if Russell Westbrook can do it, maybe Lonzo was told that also.
Yeah, I mean, if it's by design, in terms of what you're saying, then it's in the realms of the team. I mean, listen, every play is not going to be ran for Vooch. Every play is not going to be ran for DeMar, and so on and so forth, including Lonzo and Zach also. The whole key to me is the flow. The difference in Zoe is that he's a fast break ready to happen. I mean, off a rebound, off a steal, off of anything. His IQ is so high. Now he's a fast-paced guard. I was watching. I remember I just mentioned that I was watching a lot of his tape, and I didn't realize how fast he was. And this guy with the ball is passing people going down the court, and then he making the right play on the other end. So, I mean, he can do so many things as far as rebounding, assists, steals, scoring. I mean, he's got his shot way up. He's shooting a high percentage. So let's hope and pray that he stays healthy, and I believe he will. And if he's healthy, man, this can go a long way for the Bulls. It really can. I mean, and also one more thing before I stop. The acquisitions the Bulls made. If I go back to when everybody was healthy, the Bulls were a top team in the NBA. So do you want to tinker with that by bringing in somebody that's going to mess the chemistry up? And I know I don't mean by the chemistry with DeRozan shooting all them damn ISO shots and running ISO ball. I mean just chemistry, period. The Bulls went through a tough season. Well, just about every team did. But to me, the Bulls went through one of the toughest injury
man. All them COVID they had out.
COVID and this and that. And we never really could get a cohesiveness in a starting five. And then just when we get flowing, Lonzo gets hurt, and then Zach kind of nicks his knee up, So it was quite a few things that happened, but it is in how it happens in the NBA. Injuries are a part of the game. So I never really used that or even mentioned it about why the Bulls wasn't as good. But I knew it was a 3-year plan they had in place. And I think with everybody healthy and the acquisitions and also being smart right now, not going over the top, getting somebody and strapping yourself where you can't better your team at the trade deadline. I think it's a smart thing the organization did.
Exactly, and being out of alignment, non-calibrated, also, not being in harmony. That the ISO between DeMar and Zach basically, sent the Bulls in a slight little tailspin as far as the augmentation of that offense and how it was built by AK and how it was designed to flourish under the stewardship of Billy Donovan. That congruences allowed teams defensively to hone in and to key in on two individuals, because by them having that ball, the way they had the ball, it didn't allow for other threats to rear their head. I know Vooch struggled a little bit. And then when it came down to being in a playoff situation where you play the same team at least 4 times, and in this case, it was 5 times, that type of offense sputtered. And Billy didn't really make the necessary adjustments prior to that, because remember, we talked about Billy having some type of skullduggery going on. I didn't agree to it. Marvin did, Coffee did, and Unstoppable did to some extent, that he's going to have something different coming to the playoffs. And I didn't really see it. That was one of the times that I was right against Marvin, because normally Marvin kind of cracked my head when it comes to that. So that time I was right on you, Marvin, when it came to that part, that Billy Donovan wasn't changing anything. It's going to be basically the same old SOS. But when you have that type of stagnation, you can beat a team that comes in your building, or you go into their building and then you leave off to another city. You might can beat a team that way. But when a team has an opportunity, especially a good defensive team is well coached, have an opportunity to see where your firepower is, and then kind of like smother your firepower, and then you guys or the other members of the team is not used to being productive when that type of scenario takes place. You understand what I'm saying? And that's how you get what you get. You get a 5-game exit. Lucky it was a 5-game exit because of DeMar DeRozan heroics. Other than that, it would have been a sweep. You follow what I'm saying? And that would have been really embarrassing. But unlike last season, I hope this season that type of incongruency won't rear his ugly head, and Billy Donovan will allow those two players to do their thing, because you can't stop greatness. You allow those two players to do your thing, but also come off the ball and come off the ball early. Don't wait until you got 3 players on you and then try to still pull up. When you see players coming for you, they're trying to blitz you, just get off the ball. You have to trust your teammate. Yeah. Because if you don't trust them during the season, they're not going to be ready come playoff time.
Hey, can I ask
one more thing, Unstoppable, then you can go. I just want to say this, guys. The Bulls finished the first half of this past season at 39-21. The second half, they went 8-15 with the toughest schedule in the NBA, and that's without Lonzo Ball. Now, if you can think about that, they actually finished the first half, maybe 5 or 6 games after Ball got hurt, but they finished the first half at 39-21. They went 8-15 in the second half, and everybody felt like they really did drop way out of contention. But 8-15 against the hardest schedule in the NBA would allow a whole lot of road games without Lonzo Ball is almost accepted. If we have Lonzo Ball in the second half that just recently passed, I think we win at least 4 more of those games, and we still be at least maybe 1 game worse than we were in the first half. So I think Ball right there tells you how valuable he was, and also strength of competition. I understand the second half was a whole lot more tougher team, but we didn't play very many of those teams twice, because we had played them early in the season, so we had actually beat them once. But everybody didn't consider them as top teams as well as we beat Boston early in the year. But without Lonzo Ball, we go 8-15 in the second half, 39-21 with him in the first half. So with him, I think we do all right if he can stay healthy a whole season. Go ahead, Unstoppable.
Yeah, as Thunder, I agree with Thunder. In Orlando, Vucevic was the main guy. Yes.
Yeah. And I want to also.
He was a post player too. He wasn't just spotting up shooting threes.
Yeah.
Right.
I mean,
and that's what the point. Hold on 1 second, Marvin. That's the point that I was trying to make about incongruent behavior when it comes to the team, because it's almost like a cat being at a dog's birthday party. You follow what I'm saying? That would be an incongruity. Or a pacifist at a meeting of the war lovers. You know what I'm saying? They beat the drum wars, but then somebody on peace trying to come in. That doesn't mix. That's gonna cause some type of explosion. So what I was basically pointing out was, if you design an offense to be up tempo, up pace, fast moving, then isolation ball will be a incongruity.
I'm glad
you understand what I'm saying?
That, because it lines up with my question that I wanted to ask the panel. Do you really feel like Billy is the right coach for the job?
Repeat that question.
I'm glad Dex said that, what he just said about fast pace, moving the ball, and lines up with my question I was going to ask you. Do you really feel like Billy is the right coach for the job?
Well, I think he's early in his.
I say, I'm getting wary. I'm gonna give him a couple of more games, but I'm starting to doubt him.
Okay, well, let me ask you guys this: are you saying that because of the second half of the season, or are you saying that because of his progression in the?
I just feel like he misutilizes some of the players. Like I stated before, you got Vooch. He need to get his ass in the post. Is a lot more.
Now remember, the Bulls were 10 games better. Actually, they were 10 games under year before last, and then they were 20 games better this year. And we're going to question Billy.
Yeah, Marvin, put it in perspective now, because you are Marvin perspective.
I understand.
Okay, what I'm getting at. What's my rendezvous point?
Well, I guess you can say that the Bulls actually were more fitted with more players this year than they were the year before, because we didn't have DeRozan, we didn't have this, and we didn't have that.
Exactly. That's also, and plus Zach got hurt towards the end, where they was qualifying for a play-in game, and then Charlotte ended up getting that last seed. You follow what I'm saying?
And I want to say this too. I want to say this too, Marvin. Now you said, actually the family, everybody said they want to see Boots get involved, Boots getting a post and do this. But really think about it. Whenever have you seen Billy utilize his centers? I mean, he had Adams and really didn't use it for nothing.
Yeah. I mean, but is that a key cog in championship ability? I don't know if that's.
What I'm saying, you got a center that can post up, man. And you know what I'm saying? That's good in a post.
Well, I mean, it was obvious. It was definitely obvious this past year, that the Bulls played better when they run through Boots in a half-court set. Now, there is deficiencies when you look at that also, because Boots kind of clogs the middle. We really not with him and DeMar in the game together, So the system that you're going to run with the Bulls have to be concurrent to the way that DeMar plays and the way that Boots plays in the half court. Now, on the fast break, I mean, to each his own. When you got Lonzo Ball on the break, just be ready to catch the damn ball and dunk. So, and I mentioned this earlier this week on the panel about the Bulls being a fast-paced team and a half-court team, which means they're good for a playoff team. Because if you got Boots, you can play that half-court offense, and you got Zoe, you can play that fast-paced. So I think you're pretty well set for any form of the game. So I mean, it's a process, guys. But as far as Billy, I think he's under a 3-year deal, unstoppable, and I think we let him play it out at least. I mean,
I know, but they need to, like I said, he need to be gone, fam. I don't think he's the right coach.
Well,
I did too much like the.
Let's see what happens when we got a fully healthy team. Let's see how he coaches a fully healthy team for a whole season. Then we can make that determination. And I believe that's what the front office is giving him that. Saying, okay, Billy, we wasn't real happy about your coaching, but we understand you didn't have everybody in place. Let's hope we get everybody in place this year. And if we can't get it done, I agree with you guys. This year will be his last year.
Well, Sky proposed a question. Oh, messy Sky. Who's better, Pelicans or Bulls?
Well, that's to be seen. I know the Pelicans got a damn good team. I'm gonna be honest. They got a damn good team. But I think a healthy Bull team, because they're a little more deeper, and then with these additions, I think we can play a 7-game series with them like it ain't nothing. Hey, listen, the Pelicans are gonna give everybody hell this year, not just the Bulls. So I don't believe that's a true comparison. But
I
if you
mean,
want to
I
compare the
don't know.
two,
Listen, Marvin, I think you might be overstating the Pelicans due to the fact is that Zion was out a whole season, a full season. He didn't dribble not one ball in one game.
I
So
think
now they got CJ McCullough. They got Valanciunas. He ain't played with none of them people. You understand what I'm saying? He have to learn the spacing. He got to learn their tendencies. It's a lot, and they have to learn his as well. But it's easier to learn Zion's than for Zion to learn theirs. Because one thing about Zion, he's a force, right? He's a force in what he does. But them other guys have a lot of technology in their game, especially CJ McCullough. He's a little trickster like crazy, right? So Zion gonna have to know those little quirky things about him. He don't have to know BI because he's familiar with BI because he played with him for 2 years. But then he have to understand how Alvarado is. So this Herb Jones. He never played with these dudes. So we're going to see how they become cemented as being a force in the NBA. But it's not as easy as you think because you see the names on the roster. I.e. the Philadelphia 76ers with Dr. J. That was the best team that only won one championship in the history
and that
of the
alludes
NBA.
back to the statement I made yesterday when I asked you and everybody else, will some of the players' points per game go down when Zion go back? This is a work in progress, because like you said, I believe him coming back after the year, I don't believe that'll be a problem after maybe 15, 20 games.
Who was that point guard again?
Their starting point guard, was it McCollum running the point?
I think it was. That's why I asked.
Yeah, CJ McCullough runs their point.
CJ, his point's gonna have to be sacrificed. Man. He the damn point guard.
I believe me and Dex kind of stated, I think this is all going to be more Valanciunas going to be affected more as far as points.
Oh yeah.
Actually, Sky actually brought that point up. That makes more sense than not, because I wanted to allude to the fact that, because I did say it when he mentioned that Vooch's points went down simply because of the acquisitions of DeMar and with Zach on the team. Vooch is not considered number one no more. He's not even taking the same amount of shot attempts. So I think the chemistry will be okay. I think Zion will be okay, to your question, Dex. I think he will be okay after a certain amount of games. And I think that's what the offseason is for, to get those guys, kind of together and, see how their chemistry works too,
Wow, CWE Bed-Stuy, that's a very strong statement. He said cursed cities don't get dynasties. Wow, that's interesting right there.
Well, are the Pelicans one to two players away?
Hey, Thunder, that's why he got to go, fam. He admitted something like that and still chose not to do that. That's why he got to go.
Who is that?
He got to go. Billy.
Yeah, Billy Donovan. Yeah, I saw that.
He pretty much said Billy admitted to not making adjustments. How you know
you learn from your mistakes, Unstoppable. You want to fire him? You want to fire him just?
But Marvin, you sound like an apologist. How you learn from your mistakes? He's been in the league. How long he been a coach for? Like 8-9 years.
But he hadn't coached this team.
Yeah, but still, come on, Marvin, come on. You give him an excuse, Marvin. You gotta hold him accountable, bro. You make him.
Hold on, now I was his largest critic. Dex will tell you that all year long.
To remain his largest critic,
No, listen, I'm just gonna say we got to roll. Look, I'm not gonna start downgrading anybody.
No, I feel you. I'm not saying fire him right now. I'm saying go ahead, because we still.
I don't think it's a downgrade.
But
the whole key with that. Anytime you say things like this, you gotta have a replacement. Now I know you mentioned a couple of people, but are the Bulls interested in them? We don't know.
Listen, I will give Billy this, Unstoppable. I will give Billy this. He was dealing with the injury riddled, COVID stricken, that basically ravished the organization. It even went up to Stacey King. You follow what I'm saying? So I would give him that. I would give him that. But as far as in-game performance,
No, he really
I give him a C minus.
He's trash when it comes to that.
Yeah,
I give him a C minus. I give him a C minus
my
because
main thing was he didn't stick up for the team enough. I mean,
thank you. There I get ready. I'm glad you told that. You stole my thunder. Yes, exactly. Because I was getting ready to go there. Yes.
Not only that,
He didn't get not one tech all year long.
yeah.
he not even giving P. Williams any touches. And you seen what he can do when he gets the touches?
Yeah.
We
I mean,
seen what he do.
I understand everything you're saying about him, but I think with the injuries and the COVID and all that, the organization said, okay, Billy, you're going to get one more shot. You don't get it done, we're going to have to let you go. I believe it's already on the table.
I'm expecting his ass to be gone because I don't think
tell
he's
you
going
this,
to change.
if the Bulls are
He didn't
struggling
change.
at the All-Star break, he'd probably be gone then. How about that?
I agree.
I'm going to say this. The only way I see him changing is if he let Zoe do his thing like he let CP3 do his thing and made him look good. Because when I seen CP3 running that offense, I'm like, oh, okay. I mean, Billy probably ain't that bad of a damn coach as I thought he was. And then he came over here and did this shit. It ain't gonna work.
Now remember, you predicating all of this on after Lonzo Ball got hurt. Because if you look at when Ball was on the floor, the Bulls were a top team in the East.
Yeah, they did. They made some noise.
So you really have to give him a little leeway in the sense that injuries were a part of his coaching, because first of all, we had Ayo at a rookie point guard for over 30 games starting. That's rare in the NBA. And how far is many NBA teams going to go with that? It's been rare that a rookie point guard comes in and runs that team in an over 500 manner. It is rare. It's what it is. And the Bulls are actually considering that they had a rookie point guard running, did halfway decent, even though it might have looked bad. But you had a rookie point guard starting and a 75% Zach. Let's deal with this health, and I think we'd be all right.
Right. But see, now you kind of made our point as well, because when that roster flipped, we didn't see the coaching strategy flip.
Well,
see, you gotta coach to your talent. You follow what I'm saying?
Exactly.
You can't coach above or beneath your talent. You got to coach to your talent. And I didn't see Billy engagement the way that I thought he should be engaged. How many times we seen Billy just over there chewing bubble gum, blowing bubbles, his hands folded? You follow what I'm saying? You look like you detached. Yeah. Come on. These guys out here getting beat up. They're getting cheated. The teams are getting to the free throw line. Your guys not getting to the free throw line. We know DeMar DeRozan was one of the through his career, were one of the highest average free throw shooter in the league, getting to the line. Getting to the line. You follow what I'm saying? And he wasn't down the stretch, wasn't getting to the line. Even DeMar DeRozan got frustrated a couple of times. You saw he damn near got kicked out of field games. Yeah, why have to come down to your star player? Well, you're supposed to protect your star player. You're supposed to run out there, push the ref on his ass if you have to. Leave my star player alone. I'll take the hit. Because you're not dribbling the ball, Billy. You're not passing the ball, Billy. You're not rebounding the ball, Billy. So you have to protect your players. And it seemed like he was just looking at him like, oh well. This gum show tastes good, I can tell you that.
Hey,
yeah. Well, I said that.
Go out when he run out of bubble gum. He gonna snap when he run out of bubble gum.
I said that just totally, that he didn't say he wasn't there for his team the way he should have been in plenty games. That's why DeMar got text. A couple of players on the Bulls got text instead of Billy. And then here come Billy in game 4 of the playoffs. He gets a text. Hell, we losing by 30. What the fuck are you doing now? Excuse my language. But I mean, I think it is fair though, Unstoppable, because of what went on. Now he did not make the proper adjustments. I agree with you totally, Dave. But I think it's unfair to actually cut him now, to get rid of him now, when the Bulls did go through what they went through as far as COVID and injury.
No, I agree. Let him play out. Let him
first half.
His last contract. Then fire his ass and get one of the coaches I talked about.
Well, see, and also it's hard to fire him after you finish the first half at 39-21. I mean, just that in itself won't let you fire him, even if you have a bad second half. If you finish the first half at 39-21, I don't care what nobody say about lesser teams. That's still a damn good record in the NBA. So if you finish the second half at 8-15, it's iffy. You want to pull him in the office and say, okay, Billy, you did well in the first half. We see you didn't make the proper adjustments in the second half. You have to do such. And I think it should be mentioned totally from the front office directly to him. you got to stand up for this team. And I think that statement should be actually said to Billy Donovan.
But Marvin, you got to understand this part right here. Regardless if he have a good first half, that's besides the point. He's probably going to coach out the year anyway. So I don't think having a solid first half is going to give him an extension. What's going to give him an extension is getting to the second round.
You're
You
right.
know what I'm saying?
And I agree.
Because now they're showing improvement. And now they're showing that you can make these guys play better this season than you did last season, because last season they had an early exit and an embarrassing show at the United Center. With all that red, listen, if Moses would have came back, it would have been literally impossible with all the divine power he had to split the sea red that was in that building. But Milwaukee came in and devoured them people, man.
Yeah, I think
that's unacceptable.
I think we pissed them off when we won game 2. So
that doesn't matter. That doesn't matter. They all men.
That's a joke. That's a joke.
Oh, Jack. I'm finna say, yeah, I'm a little hot under the collar right now because, like I said, we know the biblical history about Moses splitting the Red Sea. Ain't nobody want to go split that sea, but Giannis did.
Yeah, and I just want to read one of the comments in the chat. Eric Bell writes, "We should have got Joker." No, there's no way, guy. Yeah, if you think Rudy demanded a lot of shit, if anybody get Joker, you probably have 2 players left on the damn team. Bulls don't have enough draft capital or what. You can go in a whole lot of ways and say the Bulls didn't have enough to get Joker.
Hey,
Marvin, if you get Joker, you're gonna
shout out to J&J, shout out to A1.
You're gonna rip the team down so far down that Joker probably be
shout out J&J. What's good, A1?
Oh, yo,
shout out.
A1. You never did answer what coach you would have liked if you can pick a coach for Chicago to get.
I never said who I would like.
No, you didn't.
Well, you know why I haven't never said that? Because I felt that Billy did an adequate job. Not enough, don't get me wrong. But I'm looking at this exactly the way the organization is. This is a 3-year plan. I think he's learning from his mistakes also. And I know it's a win now league. I know that, guy. But I'm not getting away from the fact that we did see good signs. We did see good things. We did see them ranked in the top 10 on offense and defense for a significant time in this past season. So I think if we can keep that up, and this all is predicated on the health of the team. I mean, I really thought we saw less than 80% of our team in full come playoff time. It had been said, we had rumbles talking about if Lonzo came back towards the playoffs, the Bulls would play better. And I believe we all can remember that. Even just that one. And then we did have a discontent when Caruso came back and the Bulls didn't quite raise the level as much. But I think Lonzo and Caruso and everybody and a healthy Zach is a big difference than just half of them coming back and being halfway healthy. I mean, health means a lot in a long NBA season. And I think that goes to how good the coach.
I think health is everything. It means more than a lot. I think it's everything.
Yeah. Well, I mean, it actually boils down.
Ask Brooklyn, right? Look what happened with Brooklyn. Not last season, but the season before. You follow what I'm saying? They was killing. They come down the stretch. Kyrie hurt. James Harden hurt. Playing with one leg. You follow what I'm saying?
Yeah.
And so just imagine if that team was healthy.
That's right.
They probably would won a chip.
A lot of people forget that Brooklyn was the number 2 seed when Kevin Durant got hurt this past season. They were playing well, but he went out and they lost 11 straight games, I do believe. But they were a damn good team before he got hurt. So injuries are part of the game, but it doesn't excuse the fact, because usually here's a guy to roll if your team is not successful.
And listen, let me tell you something about Brooklyn. Now, I seen them play live, right? I saw them play live, and I don't think Durant played. Did Durant play that game? I'm not sure, because if he did, he was so smooth. But Patty Mills was good, and James Harden just was killing them. You follow what I'm saying? And it seemed like Brooklyn, their offense, from what I've seen, it seemed like they had what you call a revolving type offense. You follow what I'm saying? No player stay in one position too long. Like it looked like they move every 3 seconds or something like that. You know what I mean? It was a trip. I like how it looked, but it was a trip. Like whoever's on top, then 3 seconds later they're not on top. They move. Whoever's in the paint, 3 seconds later, they're not in the paint. They move. It was like a ticking clock. And then they find a wide open person. And they was just finding people wide open all over the fucking court. If you ain't playing defense on that version of Brooklyn that I saw, you follow what I'm saying? With the Slim Reaper and Patty Mills when he was one of the top 3-point shooters, early in that season. And James Harden was doing his thing. That team was really hard to beat. That's why people thought they was going to be a super formidable team come when Kyrie started playing full time. And, of course, that didn't work out because they basically had a whole new team by the time Kyrie came back because Harden was out and the rest of those guys had got traded. So, yeah, that type of offense was a trip to actually see it in motion, And listen, the Slim Reaper, that guy right there is so smooth. Sometimes you don't even know he's on the court until the announcer says his name.
Yeah, this dude Chet Holmgren is a problem. I ain't gonna lie. I ain't gonna front. This dude is looking like Porzingis, Kevin Durant. It's something else.
Yeah, I mean, just like what Dex was saying about one of the other guys. I really look at the guys coming in right now and the competition that they playing against. It means a lot to me because, as you notice, every time Summer League comes around, we might get a gym out there. But then when the season starts, he doesn't really progress to be so dominant. It's been rare that a guy comes straight in the NBA and just be dominant. I mean, who was it? A couple of guys came in. Who was it? Played for Memphis. He just came in and did that. But he's a rare talent. I'm not saying none of the guys can't do it, but it's a rare thing. And Chet Holmgren with the size and his everything that he does, I think he can be. He's on. Chet Holmgren went to who though? Flight.
Oklahoma City.
Yeah, they got a couple of guys on there.
This guy can handle the basketball. He bringing the ball up the court like a point guard. This dude is 7 foot.
Yeah.
They done replaced Kevin Durant. Oh my goodness.
But to you, Unstoppable, I think
Flight. You need to back some of that up now.
I can understand.
It's too early to tell, to be honest.
Unstoppable about being short.
This dude got some swagger backs.
Being short with Billy.
No, I've seen him in college.
Yeah, I think Billy gets one more shot at him.
When they start bumping his body, that's how you're gonna know.
The crazy part about it, Chicago, they were supposed to get Udoka.
Who was that?
Chicago was supposed to sign. I think it's Udoka. That's how you pronounce his name.
Udoka.
Yeah. He was supposed to be with Chicago. They were supposed to sign him. But when Billy became available, they had rolled with Billy.
Yeah, on the surface, if you bringing Billy in for an interview, I mean he's one of the best coaches on the surface. Now he hadn't won a championship.
Man, I'm looking at his track record from the Thunder, bro. He ain't all that.
Yeah, I mean I believe one of the main things, and I think I read it in the chat here, that he's a little bit too soft.
A little bit understatement.
There you go, right there. You just said it, man. Because
yeah, he's a little too soft.
He's not a little bit too soft. He a whole lot of soft.
Yeah, there you go. Because in order for him to sit down and to make adjustments, guess who he got to sit down and talk to and tell them they have to make adjustments to their game. DeMar. Thank you. He ain't ready to sit down with them. He had to probably let a season go by and sit down with DeMar like, hey, this way ain't working. We're gonna have to have more ball movement. If 3 seconds and shoot. If he ain't got it 3 seconds, dribble, shoot, get a ball up. He's gonna have to have a talk with DeMar, and I think he has to let Vooch know. Vooch need to be downgraded to 4th option. They gotta let Zoe run the offense, and I'm not saying run it like everything goes through Zoe, but 75% of it, 70% of it needs to.
Yeah, and I agree. But see, all of this is predicated on good defense too. Now, remember, if we can play some good defense, and instead of taking the ball out the net, take it on a rebound, well, that's when Lonzo Ball is at his best. Fast breaks, movement, fast-paced offense. When you're taking it out of the net, it makes you become a half-court team, which kind of goes against the way what the real strengths of Lonzo Ball is, because he's a good half-court player. Don't get me wrong, but he's a better fast-court, up-pace player. That's where he exceeds that. So I believe it all starts with defense, and I think you got to predicate that on playing good defense, rim protection, rebounds, and whatnot. I know, like I say again, we didn't exactly dress address the rim protection thing, but that can be resolved in so many different ways, starting at the point of attack. Healthy Lonzo Ball stops guys from getting to the front of the rim, and that helps Vooch.
So, man, y'all tripping on y'all better put some respect on what you call his name, man. That dude, he's a walking 10 and 10. I'm talking about the dude he plays 15 minutes and got 9 rebounds.
Who is that?
He's talking about Andre Drummond.
Yeah, Drummond. Oh, yeah.
He played 14 minutes and got 9 rebounds, man. Come on, man.
Yeah, they definitely did.
Like, come on, bro. Like, if he gives us 8 points and 10 rebounds a game, golden. He's worth every penny.
Oh, he's worth every dime if he gives us 5 rebounds. But
the man only getting like $3 million a year. What do you mean?
You know, for what he's getting paid,
he's getting the minimum.
Just walking on. He's just worth his name being on the roster. But
hey, look,
not only
he's
that,
better than Tony Bradley. That's
it's a upgrade from Tony Bradley.
Way big upgrade from Tony Bradley.
You know, the difference in it is you look at the other side is his sluggishness, is able to move his feet. But see, the Bulls are not really banking on him being in the game so long that he's going to be a defensive deficiency.
Guys, when he was a starter, he averaged 18 and 19.
I know it.
He's a monster, man.
Yeah. I mean, look at his numbers from last year. You know, that old saying, "What have you done for me lately?" really applies to him. He's not a spring chicken. He's only 28, though. He's not too old. He's only 28. But that's what I'm saying with other players on the team, which is why, to you, Unstoppable, I don't even know, not unless it comes in a package, if they're going to get rid of Tony Bradley, because, I mean, you know, think about it. Foul trouble, anything can happen. And it ain't all. It's never bad to have more than 2 centers on your squad. So, I mean, you know, I'm not sure, but I would get rid of him and keep Tristan Thompson. But I think Tristan Thompson is going to command more money, ask for more money at least.
Okay, hold on one second, guys. Hold on one second. Listen, everybody, we'll be right back with some Summer League updates.
This is Holly Heat of the Hot Seat with Holly Heat, and this is Flight Sports TV.
Well, in the California Classic, we had a good shootout with 2 California teams, Northern California versus Southern California. The Sacramento Kings, led by Keegan, beat the Los Angeles Lakers, led by Pippen Jr., 87-75 to win the California Classic. And now the Salt Lake Classic Summer League is underway, and Oklahoma City is up 74-50 in the third quarter in that tournament as well.
And are those teams the Grizzlies and the Sixers?
Say that again.
Are those the Summer League teams of the Grizzlies and the 76ers?
No, I'm saying that the game that's playing is Oklahoma City.
Oh.
And the Utah Jazz, and Oklahoma City is blowing them out. And this is the initiation of the Salt Lake City Summer League. The California Classic is over. They always start the Summer League off, and the Sacramento Kings won the championship for the California Classic, beating the Lakers.
And they only played 3 games, so it is a short season.
Yeah, just like a little short thing. Yeah, it's like a warm up before you get to Vegas. Because in Vegas, see, in those summer leagues, all the teams don't play. But when you get to Vegas, all 30 teams will be participating.
Yeah.
Hey, Marvin.
Yeah.
I want to ask you a quick question. And y'all can chime in, too. All right, let's just say Kevin Durant gets traded, right, and Kyrie. So it's obvious Brooklyn is going in a rebuild mode. Would you mind if Chicago made a trade for maybe Steph Curry and Joe Harris?
Oh, Steph Curry for sure.
Yeah, that's
Joe
Harris.
I say no. Joe Harris, I say no because of the contract.
Because of that contract, I figured you would say that.
Yeah, it'd be Kobe White for Steph Curry straight up.
I don't see them doing that. Maybe they will see.
I'm sorry, guys. I'm sorry. I forgot. Yeah, I see what you're talking about, Marvin. Yeah, the Grizzlies is 103, 76 is 99. Okay. Yeah, I see what you're talking about.
The reason I asked that question is because I was on a panel in Philly, man, and they said Summer League team is the best of all Summer League teams. Now I'm not grading the Bulls Summer League team.
Detroit. I think Detroit. Oklahoma City looks good, but Detroit, it might be Detroit and Oklahoma City for the finals.
Yeah, and if you look at a lot of some of the teams, they got some of the players, regular players playing in that game too.
Like Detroit got, I think Detroit going with their starting 5.
Yeah, see, that's what I'm saying. They going with Cade in them. So you really can't judge it like that because they're going to be playing against lesser talent. My thing is seeing, first of all, as quiet as kept, and we don't say it enough on this panel about one of the Bulls prospects that's been in the G League for the last 2 years, and that's Marko Simonovic. I think he's going to make a difference on this team this year, and I think he might grab a roster spot off of this team. As a matter of fact, I'm thinking they might just buy out Tony Bradley, and he's going to take that spot.
Who you talking about? Justin Lewis?
No, Simonovic.
Who?
Marko.
Yeah, that's a draft pick. Of course, he gonna get a spot.
Yeah.
You know that.
He was in the
Hey,
game.
And he gained 20 more pounds.
Yeah, he can gain all that weight and muscle. Yeah, man.
Okay.
And why you guys won't think they trade Kobe for Seth Curry? The contracts match.
Yeah, but Brooklyn's not gonna do it. They've already been shopping.
Hold on. I ain't hear you. What you say, A1? Say it again.
Why wouldn't they? Seth Curry for Kobe, straight up.
Because Seth Curry is more consistent than Kobe right now.
Yeah, but Kobe's 21. They're starting over.
Yeah, but they probably want to pick him.
That might not be true, A1. I don't believe Brooklyn is completely rebuilding. They want to win.
I think they rebuilding. Yeah. They rebuilding, fam.
They're gonna put out a competitive team while they're rebuilding. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, that's what I mean. I mean. They
And
don't want
listen.
And Kobe,
Kyrie.
I'm sorry.
Kobe's an interesting product, man. Like in 3 years, the dude could be averaging 25 a game easily.
Yeah, but it goes back to that conundrum that Dex brought up. His contract's coming up too. So are you ready to deal with that? Are you ready to get ready for that?
I mean, he's not a max guy. He's not even near a max guy.
No, but he's gonna want some money. He's gonna come if he plays well this year. He's gonna come.
He'll get 4 years, 60. That's what he'll get. 15 a year. That's what he'll get. He'll fall into that slot.
I mean, in the Bulls case, I think I mentioned it the other day. The Bulls got a luxury thing coming up, guys. That's probably hidden in the gym, and they got some contracts coming off of these books in a couple of years down the line here, and the Bulls gonna have some money. So putting everything in, even though it is a 3-year plan to try to get us to the championship and win it. I mean, to me, it actually goes further than that because if we get Vooch off the books and get DeMar off the books, hey man, that's $90 million. Bulls gonna have some money. Let's see what happens then.
Then they gonna get KD.
As far as Kobe is concerned, Kobe is an enigma, man. He's I'm telling you, guys, because it was one stretch in the season just past the whole month, he averaged 18 and 6. But then another stretch of another month of the season, he averaged 5 and 6 fucking turnovers. So what you gonna get from it? But you could see the potential in him if he averages 18 and 6. Then you can see the deficiencies in him when he averages a whole month 5 and freaking 6 turnovers. So he's so inconsistent. It's hard. That's why the Bulls were out. We tried to get rid of him, but a lot of teams didn't take it. I think the Bulls asked for a little bit too much for him.
The dude averaged 15 points as a 19-year-old in the NBA.
And you know what's so ironic about him?
And he played every game.
Yeah,
right?
well, here's the deal.
He went from to coming off the bench.
Yeah.
And not knowing where his rhythm was. He missed the whole off season. So the kid went through some stuff. Let's see what he has a whole healthy off season. He'll come back with vengeance. So that's for damn sure.
And it's his contract year. But you know something that's so ironic about him? If you look at his numbers, he had the best season of his career. Not scoring wise, but percentage wise. And it sure didn't seem like it. But he did.
Breaking news.
Breaking
news. There's breaking news in the NBA.
Oh, hell.
We're proudly to announce that the Brooklyn Nets are not done. They have agreed to a deal with TJ Warren, who's been absent from the league due to a foot injury. So the Brooklyn Nets are not done. Yeah. The only thing that's holding up, as reported, the Kyrie Irving trade to the Los Angeles Lakers is that the Lakers have to absorb some partial of the contract and take on the Joe Harris situation.
Told you. It was first heard on Flight Sports TV.
Oh yeah, that Joe Harris contract has to be. I mean, but I just read a report also that Brooklyn said until they get the right suitors for that deal, they're gonna hold pat. I'm also reading a report.
They got to get a third team involved, man. They want that to go down.
That former Boston
Oklahoma
Celtic
City.
players, former Boston Celtic players calls out Marcus Smart after they're traded. Ain't that something? Wow. I'm going to read the report. I'm not going to read it out, but see who said what.
Marcus Smart is another enigma to me, man. He's like Patrick Williams. I just don't see what people see.
Well, defensive player of the year. That's what they
say. I don't see that either. I watched him. I watched him carefully. He's a flopper. He dies all over the place. He's like a bigger, he's a bigger Patrick, whatever his name is.
Patrick Beverly. Hey, what you guys think about this, man? This Josh Giddey and Chet Holmgren combination is looking really, really good. And Chet Holmgren kind of look like DKM. Why he remind me of DKM?
Josh Giddey is a good fit for a whole lot of people.
This dude Chet Holmgren is a problem, man. I like this dude.
But he ain't got no weight though, Flight. He has no weight. He's like Bradley.
He got to get in the weight room.
Remember Sean Bradley?
He defending.
Sean Bradley was a hell of a
No, hold on. Wait a second. He got some athletic legs. Like he moved like a guard. He not lanky like Porzingis. Like Porzingis looked like he about to collapse.
Breaking half.
Let's see what happens. He is American, so let's see what happens, Dax.
Well, Dex, look at Marko Simonovic. He was thin like that too. He just put on 20 some odd pounds.
But I think Shea is out. I think Shea's going to be out. He might be out by the break.
What do you mean?
I don't see where they need him at.
No, with Giddey progressing the way he is, I mean, it's a good thing to have. You're going to get back a whole lot for him.
I'm telling you guys, I just see something on the horizon. I believe Oklahoma City will. Ooh, nice. I believe Oklahoma City will be that third team to get involved in this Kyrie Irving and Russell Westbrook sweepstakes.
Listen,
listen. What's Shea going to do with these people, man? Shea needs to be with a team that's on the verge of winning something. He done paid his dues.
I got a question for Flight. Flight, would you like Shea on New York?
Of course.
I believe that was a perfect guy.
I mean, he's a rising star. That's exactly what New York need.
Yeah, I believe he would fit perfect. I think he would have been better than Brunson.
Now, are y'all looking at this? You see that young ass coach for the Utah Jazz? That guy got to be about 24 years old.
He's 34.
Well, black don't crack. My goodness, this is why I say this is shameful for the Charlotte Hornets, man. It's shameful what's going on down there. It's shameful.
Well, I mean, come on. I mean, not back on them, man. They just
all right. I'll take a break.
They stuck in cement. I believe this is a forced hand in Charlotte, though. I don't. That's something none of us can pick.
Hey, you think?
I've been talking about that, Marvin. Say that again, Unstoppable.
Yeah.
You think Doc Rivers would be a good coach for Charlotte Hornets?
No, they need youth.
Nope, I don't think
these dudes are different. They built different, man. They come off very, very different. You feel me? They already got swag. They already got. Listen, these dudes, Charlotte. Listen, down there in Charlotte, when you got a little bit of paper and you got a little swag and you 6 feet and up, you got the whole town. You know what I mean? You got the pick of the litter. So I'm telling you, these dudes are built different. Gordon Hayward is a square in a circle trying to fit in. He don't fit that. Mason Plumlee don't fit that. What they need is a coach and players to fit the swag of Charlotte, because Charlotte is just the baby sister of Atlanta. That's it.
That's what I wanted to ask you, Dex. Is the Charlotte fans, do they get emotional? I mean, they seem like they fit the team. I ain't never heard a Charlotte fan rant. Never.
Listen, Charlotte fans, they are maniacal. They're very maniacal because it's a Southern draw. You feel me? First of all, but they're getting a lot of these city boys down there in the South, and it's altering the youngsters, not the old heads. You already know old heads are old heads. You feel me? them, them good old boy old heads, they just gonna stay that way. But these youngsters that's down there in Charlotte is feeling that type of vibe that's coming out of these players. You feel me? They got the swag, they got the talk back, they got the gear, they got the drip, or whatever you want to call it. The cars.
Yeah.
You understand what I'm saying? These dudes are moving different. They ain't like those other Charlotte players back in the day. It's like a whole bunch of Larry Johnsons now. And LaMelo's leading the way as far as the celebrity. Well, so they need a coach that could reflect that. And when I keep looking at these young ass coaches in the NBA with these teams that, are second in Western Conference and Eastern Conference appearances, it's just mind-boggling, man. And you already know how I feel about the Michael Jordan thing. People want to, they don't want, oh my God, Chet, this guy can't miss. The Michael Jordan thing, how much say so he really have. You know what I mean? Is he beckoning to the minor investors to make sure they get their bread and make sure the organization is stable? I don't know. But Mike, if I was Mike, listen, Mike, you had your swag when you was coming through. People didn't like how you was wearing your gold chain and your one little diamond earring and stud and things of that nature. Coming to the NBA, people call you super cocky and you don't have respect for the game. You remember that type of conversation that was going on, Mike? Because a lot of us is old enough. A lot of us are old enough that we remember. We read those Sports Illustrated articles. We read those USA Today articles. You follow what I'm saying? Dealing with Michael Jordan back in the early 80s or the mid 80s when he had all that swag coming into the league. You know what I'm saying? Playing with jury.
Yeah. I mean, they're an enigma, man. I mean, it's almost like they okay with where they are. I mean, you don't hear very many rumbles. Ain't too many people crying. But I'm just curious because I don't know very many Charlotte fans, and I just have never heard them rant. If I was a Charlotte fan, I'd be losing my fucking mind. I'd be crazy, man. So I don't know.
I don't blame you, Marvin. I done heard some Charlotte content creators, like I heard this one guy named Buzz Boys, and I like the way he get out. So if he ever get an opportunity, Buzz Boy, if you're listening, come on up to Flight Sports and get on the panel, man. Let us hear some of that fervor you got for these Charlotte Hornets, man. Because I believe they deserve much better, and I believe the direction they're going is backwards.
Yeah, I mean, they sure don't show no progress.
It looks like to me they don't want to pay. They're not interested in re-signing Melo or want to pay him. Because this is the moves that you don't do when you got a star like that, like a guy that comes along every 10, 15 years, right? You start building around him immediately. You start seeing signs. You hire a young coach that's going to grow with them. All the signs you see when you have a superstar, they're not doing they're doing everything to show him
opposite.
we're not stable. We're not trying to build around you. Nothing.
We're not confident.
Nothing.
Yeah.
So if he resigns, he gets that bag. He's going to be in obscurity for 7, 8 years. Just all-star every year, putting up his numbers, doing his thing, all NBA, doing his thing, but in obscurity.
Yeah, I can agree with that too. Yeah, I can agree with that. A1, good take. Because like you said, you will be scrambling to try to meet his satisfaction.
Everything.
All I'm saying, you be trying to feed his grandizement.
Look what New Orleans did for Zion, Dex.
Yes.
All that shit, like everything he did. Not healthy, not being in shape. They know what they got. They still built around him. They showed him, and he signed that contract faster than anybody. 12-on-1.
He damn near signed that contract as fast as he ate a Big Mac.
You know what I'm saying?
It's the timing is really close.
For real.
Yeah, I mean, I just think it's a disrespect to the game, and it just don't seem becoming of Michael Jordan to me, unless he got Alzheimer's, and I don't think Michael got no Alzheimer's because we saw him at the All-Star game, and he's amongst the 75 greatest, and he was just chiming it up. You know what I'm saying? He was just so glee and full of energy and very vivacious, especially challenging Magic Johnson. You know what I mean? That was like one of the epic episodes of the All-Star game this year down up in Cleveland. So we know Mike is active. See, when you see stuff like that, We know he's active. When we saw when Michael got so upset, he got up and walked out of a Charlotte Hornet game before it was over with. We know he's active. He ain't no dead. Listen, the guy is not senile, okay? He's not barely moving. He's stuck with Parkinson and things of that nature. I don't understand where Michael brain power is going, what direction is headed when it comes to building the Charlotte Hornets as a really, really competitive team. I heard Mitch Kupchak say it. You guys heard Mitch Kupchak say it. We're really not that good. So, you know, I don't need to contact anybody. You know, so when I picked up my coach, I picked him. I didn't have to call anybody, and nobody called me either. So this is what we got. We're really not that good, but at the same time, we're going to try to put the best type of competition out on the floor for our Charlotte fans who are very dedicated to the Charlotte Hornets.
Shout out to Josh Jackson in the chat. There's a lot of things going on. We had a lot of politics going on tonight, man. It's crazy. The summer league play is in full swing. You know, you don't have to wait all the way to Friday. You got good basketball on right now as we speak. Chet Holmgren balled out. He had a whole bunch of blocks. I'm telling you, dude could be a defensive player of the year. This guy, he got to get some weight on him though. But Taco Fall is out here. Taco just all over the league. He usually a big story whenever he playing. He done lost some steam. I don't know what Utah gonna do this year. We gotta figure out what they're gonna do with Donovan Mitchell. Since they let go Rudy Gobert.
Hey, Flay, I'm funny if you said that because I was gonna ask you this. You think maybe it's possible that if maybe Charlotte could try to make a run at Donovan Mitchell?
I mean, I just don't think all these guards is the thing, man. That's just all. But I mean,
yeah, they
he's a talented player. I mean,
I believe they in more need of a big man unstoppable.
I'm pretty sure they can play together.
I think they're in more need of a big man or a power forward.
Well, they try to go out to DeAndre Ayton then, you know?
Yeah, but see, Ayton's going to want too much back off of that team. Now, it all depends on what they want back. You're right about that. If they can keep the core team, which is basically all it is Lonzo Ball and Bridges, and you can say Kelly Oubre. But I mean, what kind of package can you put together to give for DeAndre Ayton? You're going to have to give up your draft capital along with a couple of players to get him over there.
I think if you going after a player maybe like Ayton, I think it might be worth doing that. Have somebody that can grow with Melo, because
if Charlotte can't see this thing slipping away and we can, then they don't want to win for real. Because us as fans, we all see in the horizon and feel like ain't no way that LaMelo's gonna stay. Not with this craziness going on. So they need to hurry up and try to get something done. Seriously.
Yeah, because they're trying to cheat the game. We all know they're trying to cheat the game down in Charlotte. They're trying to wait till these sensational rookies that they have get close to their contract and then try to convince them they're really interested in them. You are a guy and things of that nature. So you want to wait to the 11th hour before you want to talk to me about what direction should we move this? How can we compliment you? You follow what I'm saying? And we all know that's con. That's con.
Yeah.
Because if you're really serious, you will start now.
Yeah.
Yeah, Dex. So maybe I'm thinking, too much. I mean, this is a theory. All right, we all know MJ. MJ's that guy. Maybe he looks at LaMelo and says, "You're too big for this place. Like, you need to go show your talent on the big stage." Maybe that's what MJ thinking.
In other words, you're saying we don't want to win. You can go Melo. That's basically what you're saying.
I mean, maybe he said we're not gonna win here the way
I don't know about
you
that,
deserve.
I think they're greedy. They're all greedy, man.
I don't know. I'm just giving it a theory because I can't see any other why they're not building around him right now, giving him the coach.
I can't see that one though.
But besides MJ saying like, this guy ain't gonna be here, man. He belongs to LA or New York or
no, they don't give up the ghost like that.
Yeah, and my take on that is I just feel like they know they mediocre. And they don't, as long as they putting butts in the seats, they don't give a damn. Now, when it's time for Melo to leave, though, watch and see if they don't start scrambling.
Exactly. That's what I'm
Maybe they
saying.
use
They're gonna wait
Melo.
till the
Maybe they
11th
use
hour.
Melo to build. Maybe they get a bunch of draft picks. Maybe they use Melo to do that. I don't know.
They have money right now. Charlotte has some of the most money in the free agency market. You follow what I'm saying? In the cap space. They have money.
They could make
I
some
forgot
money.
who had the most. money. It was one of them teams that was surprising.
I read.
Was it Detroit? I think it was Detroit. I think Detroit had the most, if I'm not mistaken.
No, Indiana right now. Indiana right.
Oh, Indiana.
Right.
It was Indiana. Okay.
Right. Well, I mean, hell, they didn't give up everybody. So.
But you know what, though? To be fair, that situation that's going on in Charlotte really put him in a bad place, though. In a real bad place.
Who, Melo?
Yeah. What's going on with
he's just.
Bridges?
I mean, it's like he's just under a whole bunch of just trash, and it's hard for him to get out of it.
Bridges not trash though.
No. I don't mean the players. I'm talking about the organization. I mean, I believe that all the players want to win.
But see,
the organization
I understand. It looks like the Hornets was right in lowballing Bridges, based on his recent activity. But at the same time, you don't foresee that unless the Charlotte Hornets are time travelers, unless they administration is time travelers. Because why would you even offer Miles such a low number?
What was the number they offered him again, Dex?
Like 60 for 4 years.
What do you think his money range was?
Yeah, I was about to say.
Or 60 for 3 years. It was like 15 million a year. Yeah, 60 for 4 years. That's 15
million.
You
see his money range at, Jay?
Listen, they should at least start at 80.
80?
They should at least, because this is why I'm saying that. Because if you're gonna build something, right, you want to let the person that you're really building for know that you in it to win it. And you showing that you're gonna put your skin in the game by giving the second best player that we believe something that he's comfortable with. Not something he's gonna be looking like, that ain't gonna fly, buddy. Nah, man, that's not good. You know what I'm saying? And now everybody looking like, damn, I ain't finna go to no shot. I ain't finna be wrangling with them people over a few crumbs.
I mean, prime example of that is what the Knicks did for Mitchell Robinson and what the Bulls did for Zach. They showed loyalty, and sometimes it can take you a long way.
So I just think they try to play the weight game. Now they happen to benefit to a certain degree, right? They happen to benefit because now, see, when you have calm people running your organizations, this is what happens. Now they want to try to really lowball this guy. So they want to get him in his worst moment in his life instead of bringing him up like a young man supposed to be brought up. You follow what I'm saying? This is what happened. We understand, but this is what we're going to do. You follow what I'm saying? As soon as you get through with any type of legal situation, we got this on the table for you. But there's no tentative offer. They rescinded. Whatever they offered, they took it back.
Yeah. Well, this is I said that. And a lot of guys on the panel told me that they were going to offer him something. I told y'all they wouldn't.
They still might offer him something. It's not over with yet. They still got plenty of time. They plan
tomorrow, right? Tomorrow.
They got to tomorrow.
Tomorrow's the 6th.
Yeah. I mean, don't get me wrong.
It is. Right.
I don't even think they're gonna put nothing on the table for me.
I think something will be on the table tomorrow. It might be a super low blow, but there'll be an offer tomorrow.
But do you guys understand where I'm coming from?
Oh yeah, I do.
Because a legitimate organization wouldn't have waited for something drastic to happen. Even though it happened, it might not have happened, but sometimes these organizations know your lifestyle and they be like something bad, something doomed to happen. You understand what I'm saying? Sometimes they just know more than what we know because of course they're closer to the situation. And then they do that. But at the same time, you're showing everybody else who's not perfect, because none of us are perfect, whether we in the game or out the game, whether we play sports or we don't play sports. None of us are perfect. But what you do is you make right by setting an example for somebody who poured their hard-earned equity sweat for your organization. Because when LaMelo went down and when Gordon Hayward went down, it was Miles Bridges bringing up the rear to get the Charlotte Hornets qualified for a play-in game. Yes, Melo did come back, and when LaMelo came back, he was so-so because he was still dealing with the agony of pain coming from that broken wrist. He wasn't already 100, but it just showed the character of LaMelo Ball to come back and fight with his team going down the stretch. LaMelo brought his own shovel and dug his own foxhole because the organization really wanted kind of him to, to heal. You saw him over there, antsy, pantsing, shaking, want to get in the game so bad. He couldn't even stay still on that bench.
But is that
what I'm saying? How anxious he was.
Is the Charlotte Hornets the epitome of a team that you can't understand? They won 43 games last year. Now, do any of us remember any of those wins? Think about it. 43.
I remember some of the wins, you know what I'm saying? But that's beside the point. The point that I'm trying to make here is that from an organizational standpoint, because those wins, it wasn't from an organizational standpoint. Those wins were from players and coaches and that staff. You follow what I'm saying? Yeah, where I'm talking about is you set a precedent. You make an example. So everybody's looking because a lot of eyes is on Charlotte. It seemed like these guys really don't believe the superstar they have in LaMelo. Like, you don't think people was watching you guys? No, and you guys with this old trickery?
I think there's more if they don't appreciate him, Dex, than is that they don't believe him. They don't appreciate it. They won't miss him until he's gone. Real simple.
But that's besides the point also. But what I'm trying to say is you don't think eyes are on you by you having that tandem with Miles and LaMelo, Airbnb. Now we don't even hear that slogan anymore, unfortunately. But when you have that type of excitement amongst two players like the Zoe and the Zion and things of that nature, that's real. So you're bringing casuals to your organization. They're watching you on League Pass. They're watching you on ESPN. They're watching you on TNT. So these major networks, right? These major networks bringing in casuals, watching your organization, and then some of them might hang on to it. Some of them might flee away and might like somebody else. But some of them still might become attached to your organization, and then they're looking at you're offering a player that people is excited to see that number when the average is getting this number. And not only that, what about the NBA landscape? What about other players that might want to play with some of these players? Do you think they want to haggle over a few million here or there? Come on, man. If you want me, why I gotta argue with you? Why is there negotiation according to the number instead of negotiation according to incentives? No, incentives.
Yeah, well, yeah, I understand.
You know what I'm saying? No, this is your number. We giving you this, but damn, and we're going to give you this, this, and this if you do that, that, and that. You understand what I'm saying? So my base is already settled, and I'm cool with that base. But you giving me a chance to make extra. That shows me that you wanted me to exceed because you're trying to incentivize me to play better.
Well, I got
and people see that.
I got a question for you. If Melo is there in his contract year, you think they're gonna try to lowball him?
If Melo's there in his contract year, say that again.
Do you think the organization would try to lowball him?
I don't know, man. You know what I'm saying? That's a tough call because you know, at one time I would have thought that, and the reason why I would have thought that is because of this. When Melo got drafted, they also signed Gordon Hayward. They wouldn't fetch Gordon Hayward. You follow what I'm saying? And they gave him this lopsided contract that didn't coincide with his production. So they could always use that as leverage against LaMelo. But since Gordon Hayward have yet to play in a play-in game, right? Now, that could be to his benefit because since I didn't play, y'all didn't win. It could be to his benefit. But since he wasn't able to play in a play-in game, and it could work against him because you're too fragile. You can't make it through a whole season. They have to look at LaMelo in a different light because he played in both. Although they got smacked, they got slaughtered. Listen, it was horrible to see. You feel me? Because it was a massacre for both years. Indiana got him as well as Atlanta got him.
They still bleed. You're right.
But he showed up. He played. He probably did the best he can do under those circumstances. He was 19, 20-year-old. You feel me? But gained experience. Whereas their so-called best player, and Miles is also a participant, but their so-called best player was a no-show. 2 years in a row, consecutively, a no-show. So you telling me you could not get yourself together enough? I understand the first year, but the second year, you could not get yourself together enough, pace yourself enough to be present when we needed you the most? That's what you're telling me as a veteran, and I'm giving you $30 million a year? Is that that the message you're sending? It's okay to not be present and with some of the most meaningful games for the organization in years? So you can't use him. You can't use Gordon Hayward against him now.
I don't even think they've been trying to move him. I think they're sitting on that.
Hey, all right.
Shout out to Ray.
Shout out, Ray.
What's going on? Shout out to the panel. Shout out to the chat. So glad everybody's here watching. I see y'all all in the chat doing their own little conversation, like they always says, huh, Dex? They have their own little conversation. But listen, I've been listening to you guys. I finally had the opportunity to get on. Here's the thing. The LaMelo Ball situation is so hectic because, for one, to answer a question from Marvin, he said, will they lowball him? The answer is yes. A couple years ago, or maybe a year ago, I was thinking, but I think yes. They would lowball LaMelo because of a guy named Kemba Walker. Kemba Walker, when he was on the Hornets, he did what he could do. And the team wasn't all that great, just like LaMelo's situation is. The team's not all that great. The success rate is not all that good. But for apparent reason, Kemba Walker was balling, played the years that he did play on the Hornets. And at one point, Kemba Walker on the Hornets was a dangerous player. And definitely was in your top 12, top 10 point guard at that time. Okay? Because Kemba Walker was like that. I think he hit the All-Star. I don't remember quite, Frank. I could be wrong. But yeah. And we're talking about LaMelo Ball that's in the same boat. He probably going to end up deserving every bit of dime. But are they going to give him that? No, because they didn't do that with Kemba Walker. They didn't do that. Miles Bridges didn't get in trouble. Did they really look like they were trying to pay Miles Bridges some money? No, I don't think so. I don't think they're trying to give people their money. Now, did they make that gigantic payment on Gordon Hayward? Yeah, but that was a desperate move. Charlotte, Michael Jordan felt like, Gordon Hayward could bring some of that back, to Charlotte. I get it. But, was that a bad move? And every person I know that's been on the Hornets that wanted that payday, it's not happened. It just hasn't happened. So, do I feel like they would definitely lowball LaMelo? I think so. I truly do. And hopefully, LaMelo Ball can get out of there before that even happens anyways. Because here is LaMelo Ball wasting precious time, precious energy for an organization that doesn't know what they're doing, that's late. They're taking forever to make. They went into the draft without a coach. You know what signal you're showing to your future draft picks? You know what signal you're showing to the continuation of the free agents or whoever that's paying attention, or organization to the NBA. You're going into the NBA draft without a head coach. If that ain't one of the most unorganized bullshit that we ever seen, and then desperately fall to go get a guy named Clifford. God,
I think that was a panic move.
Not a William III. You got a Clifford. Please, this is unacceptable. And for me, when it comes down to Melo, I hate that he has to go through this because it's a waste of his energy, waste of his time. For real. So yes, to your answers, will they lowball LaMelo when he gets signed? I think so. I truly think so.
Well, let's hope not. Hopefully, that's worst case scenario. That should be a nightmare.
Oh, by the way, also on this title, to my viewpoint on this title, by the way, on this title, I think Lonzo Ball and the Chicago Bulls, there's going to be a lot of guards still unless they make these moves to get rid of some of these guards. But if they don't make any moves to get rid of some of these guards, then we're about to be heavy on the guards for the Bulls. And if that's what's going to happen, I mean, all I can say is this. They're going to have good depth at guard. So nobody should be tired because you got Lonzo, you got Caruso, you got that draft pick, you got Io, you got a lot of options at the guard spot. So to me, I feel like there's no excuse for someone to be tired, I guess, because until they make these moves, which I'm hoping they will, if they don't, we're about to have a lot of options at that guard spot. So we'll see how this is managed.
Yeah, that's remained to be seen. That's a good overview. Also, that I really don't see. Like I said before, I just think it's very impervious to Lonzo Ball. He's going through the season with blinders. He's not worried about what's on his left or what's on his right as far as competition for his minutes and things of that nature. We know that he's coming back and he could be a little tender, and that's how they probably will approach him coming back. So maybe this is why they have an aggregation of guards or overload or logjam or however you want to put it. But at the same time, I just believe some of those guards are going to be gone. Jalen Terry, he's not ready right now. We don't know what he's going to look like in summer league, but so far in practice, they're saying that he's pretty good. He's holding his own. He's going against Io and some of those guys, so and he's doing pretty good. But that's against your own team. Yeah. We don't know how hard they're going towards him because Io is already cemented. You know what I'm saying? Even though he's in practicing with them, Io and Patrick Williams, they're not going to be a part of that summer league team. So he's going to be going against guys who's not cemented, maybe, outside of Detroit, of course, and Oklahoma City, some of them guys. But a lot of those guys are just going to be fighting for their lives. You know what I mean? They're fighting for their daily meal. So we don't know how he responds when it becomes competition outside of friendly competition. And then Dragic, wait, listen, the guy's not even making $3 million a year. So that's
I forgot about Dragic too. Oh man, I forgot that too. My bad. Continue.
He's just a flea on a cow. So that's no big deal. Or a flea on an elephant. That's no big deal. He is only there to communicate with Vooch. They want production out of Vooch. Vooch is not getting no veteran minimum. Vooch is getting big money. And so they want major production, and they want his performance to match his pay. That's why you get paid performance. Dragic is going to be a communicator. He's going to be a liaison mostly. You follow what I'm saying? Because Vooch requested this guy. If Vooch didn't really put in a good word for Dragic, he probably wouldn't be a Bull. He'd probably be still surfing the NBA landscape, trying to land a job. Probably have to go back overseas and probably try to come back at the trade deadline and things of that nature. You follow what I'm saying? So he's not there to threaten Lonzo's job. The only person there that could be a threat that they look at is Ayo Dosunmu. But Ayo Dosunmu, mentally, he's not ready. We've seen the level of play that he have, which was very vigorous and tenacious, but IQ hadn't caught up to his energy yet. You follow what I'm saying? Yeah. So he has a whole lot of energy, but the IQ haven't caught up with that energy. So a lot of times he's out of position at crucial times in the game. And this is why Billy takes him out, put him on a bench, or Billy stagger his minutes based on that right there. But as far as anything else, Lonzo's cemented. He's fermented already. This will be his 6th year. Hopefully he holds up to the duration of the season, but he's damn sure ready to go. That I can assure you. He's ready to go, and he's ready to go now.
I agree. But except for anybody taking a job, I don't think nobody is in that position to take his job unless, he's traded or removed somehow. They make a sign and trade or something, whatever. For me, so far, we watched last season the missing of Lonzo Ball and how important that was. We saw a stretch of Io DeSumo, and just like Dick said, he had amazing things that he showed, and he has high potential. I think he is a good guard. Pretty good height on him. You know what I'm saying? He got a little floater game. He can, you know what I'm saying, get up and down that court, all of that. I think he could work on his defense a touch more. And then, like you said, yeah, IQ too. We'll see how better he can make his decisions, because his decision-making has to become a little bit faster. It's a little slow. If he can work on that, maybe Lonzo will teach him a few things. You know, we should see a little better at that, because his IQ is like, well, I'm about to pass it to you. No, we need you to pass it to him. You know what I'm saying? Like, the IQ got to be a little faster, quicker decisions. I don't see Lonzo's job in jeopardy one bit. My biggest thing is what I said earlier. The Bulls are going guard heavy right now. So far, I'm not saying for what's going to happen in the future or the next coming days, but at the same time, I'm just going by the now. And signing Goran Dragic, you're adding, once again, another guard to the guards we have. And once again, our biggest things when it comes down to the Chicago Bulls is we need some wing defenders. We need who could spread the floor, who could shoot a little bit more. Last season, our bench that we thought was going to be able to shoot the lights out, you know, when they got Matt Thomas, Troy Brown Jr., Kobe White, we thought these guys can catch and shoot the ball. And we didn't really get too much of that, which we really need. We need some shooters. LaMelo Ball's around the corner. I'll leave that alone. But Bulls need some shooters. Bulls need a big man. Yeah, we got Drummond. Drummond is a high rebounder. That's true. Drummond, he's not soft. It's not like you're going to bully him. So cool, I give you that. But he does not solve our biggest thing that we truly need, and that is that rim protecting. Reason I say that, because I seen Vooch took the opportunity to grab a rebound in that playoffs. I don't know if y'all remember, because Vooch was having an decent playoff run, and Vooch actually took the opportunity to grab some rebounds. And I feel like Zoe and Caruso, them dudes can grab a rebound. Yeah, I know we was low on the rebounds when you put in the rankings, whatever. But the rebounds wasn't such a, like, oh my God, it wasn't a hurt to me when I watched the Bulls. Every time I watched the Bulls, it was a hurt, was the fact that we had nobody, and I mean nobody, to protect the rim against a Joel Embiid, a Giannis Antetokounmpo, and any other person who felt like they wanted to dominate in that rim, in that paint. Mr. Mitchell Robinson giving us the work. That's why the Knicks beat the Bulls several times. Because Mitchell Robinson had he was like the Michael Jordan. We had him looking like Michael Jordan at the rim because we had nobody to protect the rim. That's why everybody was talking about, but look at our rankings with the rebounds. Drummond fixed that. Dude, oh my God, was that such a glaring issue? No. Protecting that rim was a glaring issue for the Bulls. And so far, we have not taken care of that position. Who's going to be really wanting to protect that rim? Especially, we are still in the Eastern Conference. That Giannis is still there. That little Joel Embiid is still there. And come on now, come on, the Hawks. The Hawks got better. We got to have some people to protect our rim, man. Drummond go grab some rebounds though, but he still does not take care of the issue, man.
Who the Hawks got besides Murray?
You said what?
Who did the Hawks get besides Devontae Murray?
No, I said the Hawks getting better. I ain't say
Hot Pockets in the building. Hot Pockets in the building.
I'm about to say they got good.
No, I wasn't saying like they got some big guy. Now I wouldn't say they got, but they got
DJ leave. Lonzo didn't leave LA. He got traded.
I think we panicking, man. Like, I think a lot of folks are sleeping on Andre, man. He ain't the best defender out there, but he did a pretty good job. Yeah, everybody need to go back and see, man. But the front office, they know what they gotta do, fam. They already said what they need to take care of. Let's not panic. Let's wait and see what happens, man. That's all I'm saying. Let's just wait and see.
Yeah, I mean that's what I said.
You know what I want to wait and see? You know what I want? I want to see what this Chicago Bull assistant coach John Bryant, what he's going to do in summer league this year. Because unfortunately, last year, if those Bulls fans, shout out to C Red and shout out to hashtag Run With Us. You know that his father passed in September of last year of COVID, and he was vaccinated. And he wasn't able to coach that summer league because he was running back and forth visiting his father in the hospital. But I really want to see what this guy's about. You follow what I'm saying? Because somebody put me up on him one time, and I didn't know who the hell he was. And so, all you Bulls fans, let's cheer for him. You know what I'm saying? Let's really, really cheer for John Bryant that he have a hell of a summer league this year, and that when he gets back to the Chicago's bench for the regular season, that he be an important voice amongst those men.
Who did what system he came from? Dex? Oh, my fault.
Say that again.
Yeah. What was he coaching? Like, was he did they get him from a different team, or where he come? I don't remember the guy.
I don't know if they got him from a different team or not, but he's been part of the Bulls. I guess with Billy Donovan, you know what I'm saying? And he was supposed to coach the summer league last year, but unfortunately his father caught COVID and then he eventually passed from it. So he wasn't able to do it. But this year he has a whole summer league to coach and practice. Because remember, if you ever saw that video, that's him. He's that brother that's in the video when they were doing the practice, when they was out there practicing and stuff. He's going to coach. That's John Bryant.
Oh, you talking about the recent video, and he was talking about the Rook, how he the loudest one and whatnot. Yeah. Okay, yeah. Okay, well, yeah. Let's all hope that he does good in the summer league. Full form.
So we're going to see what he do in summer league. This is where a lot of the coaches are made in the summer league because you're coaching these young men, and if they can gravitate to you, that'll keep in the league a long time.
Right. I agree with that. Most definitely.
So shout out to him. You know what I'm saying? For the opportunity.
Yeah, Unstoppable, to answer to what you were saying about waiting, I was just speaking on the now. Like I said earlier, the upcoming days, things could change. Some moves could be made. Some spots could happen. I'm just saying right now, we did not address the glaring issue, and we did not address shooting, and you know what I'm saying. And right now we are guard heavy as hell. I mean,
you know what, Ray? I honestly think once KD lands somewhere, then you're gonna see some stuff happening. I think since KD announced that he wanted to get traded, that kind of shifted
slow things down.
Yeah, you know what I'm saying. I'm not saying they gonna get him, but it's talk that they talk about. They talk to the Brooklyn Nets. You know what I'm saying, and shit, believe it or not, they say the odds are really in our favor to getting him. Not saying we are, but I think once we find out wherever he gonna go, then that's when you're gonna see these trades happening or whatnot.
Yeah,
I don't know. What about you? What you think?
Shout out to Basil. Hold on 1 second. Let me get this in. Shout out to Basil for the $50 PayPal that goes into support Flight Sports TV. So shout out to you, my brother, for your diligent support and your focus and you showing up on time. You know what I'm saying? To every stream. Listen, you is greatly appreciated.
That's facts. Shout out Basil Carpenter Jr. One of the
Yeah,
day one
shout out to
guys. I'm
Basil.
telling you.
Day one right there.
Basil Carpenter seen this channel grow from the bottom. Shout out Basil. We love you, man. Shout out Jessica, man. We all in here. Shout out to everybody, man. We in here cooling.
Most definitely. Beautiful night, man. A lot of people still in the chat. Beautiful, man. We talking about this great information. We want to know how y'all feel about it. But to your point, you said unstoppable with KD. That was a good point because that might have slowed things down because when Kevin Durant broke that news that he wanted to go, I know everybody would start, hold up, let's not give it to nobody. Let's try to find the options how to get him, man. Because I think Bulls being a high chance to get him makes a lot of sense because I feel like the Bulls have more assets than these other teams. And I'm not saying like other teams don't have assets, but the other teams, if they give up their assets, they go very, very behind. If the Bulls give up the assets, it's easier because now the Bulls is, let's say you give up a DeRozan, and I know you can replace a DeRozan for a KD. That's not quite that. I mean, that right there is no argument. And then you can a DeMar DeRozan, give up 2 first-round picks. Then you could give up like a Kobe White or something. And we're already guard heavy. So we give up a Kobe White, give up another young guy probably, and we're talking guys that Chicago can give up assets without taking a step back, like these other teams. Because if the other teams will have to give up their guys, they'll probably be low on depth. They probably won't have depth because of it. They might be missing pieces because of it. They're trying to get KD. But if the Bulls get KD, we can easily give up guys because we have so many guards. We're guard heavy. We got multiple young guys we can just get rid of. And we can just go ahead and give them DeMar for KD. And there's no argument talking about, no, DeMar's better than KD there because that's cap. That's cap.
I think you had to throw in boots too for the contract.
Nah, DeMar's contract and give up Kobe White and whoever else that got a solid young contract. We straight. Give up some picks.
Ray, you need to stop. You really need to stop, Ray, because I know what you're doing. Yeah, I peep what you're doing. You being intellectually dishonest. You trying to give up everybody you don't like.
Just long as
you know doggone well, DeMar is not enough for a clean swap. And Kobe, what do Kobe White get? Probably about $907,000 a year. Come on, man. You know what they're asking for. You know what they're asking for. They sure ain't asking for Vooch.
Hey, next, the day we give up DeMar, I'll be done with the Bulls. I won't say nothing bad about them.
Yeah, I know what you're trying to do. But if that trade was to work, I'm quite sure Alex Caruso probably have to be involved in that. I'm quite sure. I don't think they're going to really ask for Lonzo because of the health issue. So that might scare a lot of teams off. You follow me? That might scare Brooklyn off. But definitely, you're going to have to give up DeMar. You know Zach is not going nowhere. I don't think Kobe White is something that they will prioritize into snatching from the Bulls. But I could tell you it could be Ayo DeSumo. But even though he don't make no money, you might have to throw him in with some picks.
They gonna want P. Will. That's what they gonna want.
No, because they already got Claxton.
Yeah,
I don't think P. Will be an issue. I think what they need is scoring from the wing, and they need scoring from the guard because they're gonna lose Kyrie and Durant, and then they want some picks for the future because all you got is Ben. Right now you got Ben. Andre Drummond is gone. You got Ben, you got Seth, and Seth might be included in the Kyrie trade, or you got Joe Harris. See, one of those guys might be included with the Kyrie trade because the Lakers want Seth.
Yeah, but
they don't want Joe Harris.
To take Joe Harris. I think you got to get a third team involved. That's the only way that trade gonna happen. Or Lakers just got to eat that trade if they want him right now. Or they can just wait till you become a free agent.
But the Bulls do have an outside chance of landing Kevin Durant. I want the Bulls fans to realize this because I've been looking into it. They do have a serious outside chance. It's only because of destination if Durant wants to go there. You follow what I'm saying? Because he wants to go where warm weather is. He's sick of that snow. You know what I'm saying? And we already know how cold it gets in Chicago, and don't let the wind blow. They don't call it a windy city for nothing.
Yeah.
Don't let the wind blow.
Hey, he telling the truth. Hey, Ray, you really the wind be so strong here, you really feel like you're getting choked. Like for real.
I believe you.
It be that strong out there, man. I remember I walked outside, I got hit with that wind so strong, I felt like I was getting choked. I'm like, oh my God, I can't breathe. But the odds are steady going up for him to for Chicago to land here. And you know, him and Zach won a gold medal together. You know what I'm saying? So you know, maybe Zach's trying to recruit him. You know, but it all depends what Brooklyn wants. You know, all depends what kind of package they can put together.
Gatorade. Shout out to Gatorade. Gatorade sponsor us on Flight Sports TV. I said that because I was drinking Gatorade, so shout out to Gatorade. Facts, and on real shit. Other sponsors, man, you know what I'm saying? Let us know, man. Give us a yearly supply of Mountain Dew, man.
Yeah, but Justin, you don't want KD, remember?
So what?
No, I was talking to Jessica. I read a glance at her comment a little bit. I think she said the Pelicans has the best package to get KD.
Oh, okay. Hey, that's summer league. The Bulls play the Hornets.
Yep, that's the last game.
On the 15th?
Yep, last game. Yep.
Something like 17, one of those numbers, yep.
Yo, what's good?
Who's this?
This is more guy.
Oh, it sure is more guy. What's going on, man?
Good. Not much, man. What y'all up here talking about, man?
We was talking about a package they can send to get DeMar. To get what's the name, Kevin Durant.
You talking about for what team? The Bulls?
Yeah.
Yeah,
they just talking about how the odds are steady going up. But they saying that Chicago really has a good chance of landing and getting KD if they were.
Oh yeah, I seen that. I seen that today. It's either basically I think they probably gonna want Patrick Williams and Zach LaVine.
You already know that's gonna get shot down. It's probably gonna have to be DeMar DeRozan and Patrick Williams.
They're not gonna want DeMar because DeMar too old. They're not gonna want DeMar because DeMar too old. They're gonna want a younger player. I mean, they already came out and said they want young.
Murgot. How in the hell they ain't gonna want DeMar? Because they sure can't get Zach.
Right.
I mean, they already.
Now you sound like the opposite of Ray. Ray trying to get rid of DeMar. You trying to keep DeMar.
They can take DeMar. They can take DeMar.
No, I never said, that I wanted DeMar gone or Zach LaVine gone. I just said what the Brooklyn Nets want. I didn't say basically which one to get rid of. Personally, I would rather keep LaVine, but because he's younger and basically he has more growth to do than DeMar. But it's but that's what Brooklyn Nets already specified what they wanted, and that's why basically they came out and said they ain't making no moves until the right offer come on the table. So Kevin Durant is gonna sit there until they get the right because plus they already came out and said they building a team like they ain't going nowhere. So either they gonna get the right offer or they make the move or they just gonna sit there with him.
I think he don't mind doing that. I think he'll take.
No, he minds. No, he wants out. He's done. He's done. He wants out.
I'm saying I know he wants out. What I mean by that, meaning that they trying to use that to threaten him that they gonna sit on him. But I think his backup plan gonna be okay. You ain't gonna trade me then. I'm gonna just sit out. I'm gonna sit out game
because they gonna pull because they gonna pull what they did to Ben Simmons. They just gonna start finding him. You know what happened
he got
to Ben
plenty of money.
Simmons?
I don't think he care about that, man. He
I
got
mean,
plenty of dough. You know.
Hey, if you don't care, you got plenty of money. That's fine. Just keep.
And then
on
whatever
funding him.
team
That's
that
what he
gets
gonna
him
do.
probably will pay that off.
Probably will. You know,
But
more
listen,
than likely
I'm
they
gonna say
will.
like this: Brooklyn don't want to trade. They don't want to trade nobody. They probably would want to trade Kyrie, but they know if they trade Kyrie, that's gonna be put them in shambles, and they're gonna be a bunch of discombobulated players because KD don't want to be there if Kyrie's not there. He's not finna try to carry this team because they're not good enough. Now the precipice is he's closer to being a Bull than most people believe. He's right on the cusp. Now, one thing that I believe, this is only speculation. It's only speculation. One thing I believe, the reason why he's not a Bull is because Brooklyn really don't want to trade him. They really don't want to trade him. So they putting up this feigned interest in trading KD by saying we waiting on to the right offer. What? When do you ever really get the right offer? I mean, honestly, when do you really get? When a person say they want out, no team is not going to give you exactly what you want because they already know that you're behind the 8 ball because the player wants out anyway. So you really don't have no leverage. Only thing you're going to do is become an embarrassment to your city and an embarrassment to the NBA and your franchise by trying to hold on to somebody who don't want to be there. And keep in mind, the new CBA has this as a partnership. It's not employer-employee. That lingo is over with. They don't even use that jargon anymore. So right now, you're looking at a partnership. And if one partner want to divorce the other partner, then all you have to do is sign the papers. Because KD already signed on his. You follow what I'm saying? Irreconcilable difference. That's why I'm seeking separation. You feel me? I want to be divorced out of this union, period. Now, the only thing the Brooklyn can do is try to wait them out and then end up losing them for nothing. Right? Try to find them, and then all that's going to do is put you behind the 8 ball like Philly did Ben Simmons. Don't want nobody don't really want to go there. The only reason why Harden went there is because his boy is there. You understand what I'm saying? His boy facilitated that. Just imagine if Durham Morley wasn't there. You think Harden would want to go to an organization who's finding one of his fraternity members constantly? Of course not. By Durham Morley being there, that made it easy to facilitate a trade for Harden, and Harden can come in and be comfortable with the organization because his guy is running everything. So with this Kevin Durant, it's a little different scenario there. Now, only thing I can say this right here, Miami really doesn't have it because if Miami gut out their team, it is going to be Kevin Durant and Jimmy Butler, and that's not enough. I don't think that's enough. Because Kevin Durant is more of a melatonin type dude, and Jimmy Butler is more of an aggressive dude. So I don't know if there's a buffer in between them. I don't know if Eric Spoelstra is strong enough to buff in between Kevin Durant and Jimmy Butler, because a championship coach like Steve Kerr couldn't even do it either, right? He couldn't buffer between Draymond Green and Kevin Durant. He couldn't do it. They were just two powerful men colliding that they would have to figure it out themselves. So hopefully that would happen, but with Chicago, there's nobody there that he can butt heads with. Nobody.
What's good, my guy?
What's good with your flight?
So, what's your thoughts on this logjam at the point guard position up here in Chicago, man?
I don't think it's a logjam. I just think basically, man, I don't think it's a logjam, man. I think we already know who the starter is. It's Lonzo. What's his name? Dragic is just there for 3-point shooting to come off the bench and for veteran leadership for the young guys. That's it. And basically to help out Lonzo when he need a breather for about 15 minutes. That's about it. I don't see nothing holding Lonzo back. I mean, if you want to talk about basically who the person that should be throwing the side eye shouldn't be Lonzo, it should be Kobe White. Like, how does Kobe White feel about that? That's the point.
No, that's what I said too. I did bring up Kobe White.
Yeah, Kobe White's the one that is the odd man out, really. I mean, the ones that probably ain't gonna get as much minutes is probably gonna be it's gonna be decided between Kobe White, Iota Sumo, and Dragic. That's the ones. We already know Lonzo. We already know the four rotation. It's gonna be Lonzo, Caruso, Levine, and DeMar. Those the four right there. The other three got to fight for minutes.
Yeah, you're right.
That's it right there. That's it right there. And plus, the one thing Dragic has, he has veteran leadership. He's been to a finals, although he's lost, and he adds 3-point shooting. But like I said, how old is he? About 36. That man, he ain't got that much tread on the tire still. He probably there gonna be there for as a player coach.
Nah, I agree with you.
So I ain't too much pressed about that. So I'm just ready for Lonzo to come back and ready for the boy to come back healthy, and continue to improve his game like he does every year. Come out, play hard, play a full season, and let's get the ball rolling. So I just wish basically they probably would have added added either basically another 3-and-D like stretch 4 that can play defense and can shoot the 3. I wish they would have added one there, or added or at least added one there to pair along with Drummond. Basically, I wish they would have did that, but I mean, I ain't gonna sit here and complain because we need a more 3-point shooting. So
yeah, you're right about that.
Yeah, we need a more 3-point shooting, and we need a better rebounding.
But Murgot, you really think Dragic is going to get 15 minutes a game?
I mean, like I said, if that, it's going to be between him, Kobe White, and Ayo that's going to be fighting for minutes. So
yeah, I think he's going to get really, really low minutes. Unless somebody's injured.
He may get 10. He may get 10. He may not. I just know that he's going to just add. He's going to add veteran leadership. He's going to be like a player coach on the team. He's going to help out the young guys. And whenever he does come in, he'll be able to run the offense. This is something that's very familiar with him. He's familiar with that, so he'll help out in that way. And that's pretty much it.
Yeah, I can speak on that right quick. I know what Chicago doing.
What's that?
What
they
prepping
prepping for injuries. They're making sure that they got somebody for the backcourt.
Who is this?
What they meant to?
It's Ted.
It's Ted, man.
Oh, what's up with you, bro?
What's up, family? But that they cover.
We addressed.
You see?
Yeah, we addressed that already, Ted.
Well, I'm just saying that's my opinion on it. Is what they're doing. They've been through this shit. They realize that they lost, and they just prepping for that new season. They're making sure that they got covered. That's my opinion on it.
Yeah, I feel you. See, this is the only thing I'm saying is that with Dragic, I can understand with Dalen Terry. You follow what I'm saying? I can understand that because he's 6'7". They can use him as a shooting guard. They slide him over to the point just as a feign point guard, but not as a potent point guard, but just to have height out there to smother. You got Alex Caruso, like 6'5", things of that nature. I just don't see Dragic as absorbing any minutes when he's already made his mark in the NBA. We already know what you basically get out of Dragic, and it's not that much. He's basically is a liaison for Vucevic. That's the only thing you can see. He's going to be the Vinny Del Negro to Dennis Rodman, or the Tony Parker to Kawhi Leonard. You follow what I'm saying? He's going to be one of them type of dudes, a bridge player, where like KNT was saying, a bridge player to keep the line of communication open, because there has been some quarreling going on with Vooch, and with Vooch having limited, I won't say limited, but English as a second language, now he got his boy over there because he's there based on Vooch's request. Keep that in mind now. Those are the reports. The reason why Dragic is there, he's getting very minimal money. He's not getting anything, absorbing anything. He's there because Vooch want him there. He's going to be a head coach for Vooch because we know Vooch has a tendency to drift. And when he does, it's hard to hell to get him back. One thing about Vooch, when it came to the playoffs last season, he did show up, and he showed up in formidable fashion. And we appreciate that in Vooch for going up against Giannis and damn near matching him bucket for bucket. So now, since they feel there's a reinvigorating Vooch, let's get somebody here that can keep him that way for the duration of the season, when it's first tip off to the last dribble in a game. Hopefully that'll be the NBA Finals.
I think what they're doing is smart, though. At the end of the day, they just make it.
I think you went out, Ted.
I said I feel like that what they're doing is just making sure that they got a vet on the bench, coming off the bench. Because at the end of the day, like you said, like he already made his mark. So when you got a veteran coming off the bench, and God forbid you got, it's smart, because at the end of the day, injuries is part of the game. So that's what Chicago, proper point guard that could run the offense, everything would have been all right. So to me, they just covering for that. And he's a good vet too, so it's a smart move to me.
Well, Ted, if you can remember, it wasn't Chicago offense that failed them. It was the defense.
Nah, I understand what you're saying, but at the same time, they was missing a point guard. Without Lonzo, they fell apart. You understand? And Dragic plays good defense. Just remember that. So Caruso and Dragic on the floor together. Lonzo happened to be on the bench. You understand? He's sitting down taking his rest. I mean, you can't really knock it. It's a good move, to be honest with you. You could guard the front line.
There. That's a good point, because Dragic is known as a decent defender. So you have four good defenders, right? Because you got Zoe, the Crucial, Ayo, and Dragic. Those are four solid defenders if healthy.
He can shoot too. Look at the numbers he had there in the corner. And then the catch and shoot, pretty good on percentage. Yeah.
Yeah, he's good on catch and shoot threes, man. He proved that.
Yeah, and he's a knockdown shooter. Exactly, he is a knockdown shooter.
He can do a little bit of creating off the dribble, get into the lane, make some good. I mean, he's a quality passer. So
he's a vet.
Yeah, man. So I mean, he's a good. I mean, like I said, it's a.
And he's crafty. Don't forget, he's crafty now. He made his mark as being crafty.
Yeah, he made his mark in Phoenix and Miami. You know, he still got dunked on by D Rose, but he made his mark.
Hey, Murray, I was just about to say that, but what he known for in Chicago?
Yeah, listen, man, D Rose. What my man say? I want to get higher.
Stacey King, right?
Stacey King, funny, man. I need to get higher.
One thing you got to notice about the NBA, you can't cover every position. So you can't really put yourself, and that's the beauty of the NBA too. So sometimes you got to have every team has to have a weakness, whether it be at the center position, small forward, power forward, whatever it is. What Chicago is doing, though, they locking down that backcourt. They locking it down on the bench, and they locking it down within their starting lineup. And that was their problem last year, was the bench. I'm not even going to lie to y'all. So what Chicago's doing is A1, in my opinion.
They covering that, man. They got a lot from 1 to 3 from the positions that fall in the 1 to 3. They got that covered.
Exactly.
All that's covered.
That's my point.
And you know what, too? Then the other positions, they banking on the development of their draft picks, like Marco, Terry, Patrick Williams.
Yeah, I agree.
Yes, so they'll be weak in the middle. Well, you can't even say they're gonna be weak in the middle, because you got to give these guys an opportunity to get better. So they just went through a whole season in terms of Patrick Williams
But like you said, we may be quote unquote weak in the middle, but you minimize that when you got excellent wing and guard play on the
Exactly.
perimeter that can help out with that. Because if you can at least slow the guys down that's in front of you, you allow the back end guys to be able to come over to come play help defense.
If you really step back and look at Chicago right now, they don't look all the way like Golden State, but they're starting to shape up a little bit like Golden State. You understand? If you really take a look at it. So they fill in all those roles. At the end of the day, the NBA is an outside game now, so they locking down the outside. So Chicago's looking all right, man. And the most beautiful part is that if a player goes down, somebody's there to fill that spot, especially in that backcourt. So A1 to their moves, man, in my opinion.
Yeah, because that's what hurt them last year. It wasn't the front court that hurt them, it's the backcourt. When they key players went down in the backcourt, Alex Caruso and Lonzo, it was a wrap.
Yes, sir. Exactly. So now you got a Dragic. I mean, I understand what y'all saying about Cody, but he could find it. He could find his way. You understand? He could turn himself into a specialist. So as long as he don't get upset and he decides to play his role, whatever role that may become, you understand? He could be a part of the team.
I think they still kind of value him because they didn't trade him right away. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, man. You can't really replicate a microwave like that because when he's hot, Kobe's hot. He can get a bucket. They start just falling in. The key is to get him to be a consistent player like that. Get him to that level where he can start building into that Jordan Clarkson or Lou Williams type of role. And if he goes out and starts embracing that and be consistent at that, he can make his mark not only on his team but in the NBA in general because he's going to get paid to do that.
And a lot of people forget he came back off an injury last year.
Yeah, that too.
So you gotta factor that in. And I honestly, I mean, just from the way he looked, this is just my opinion. He looked like he was going through some off the court issues. That's just my opinion, though, from the outside looking in. You know what I'm saying? Sometimes you got to factor these things into it too. You got to get your confidence back, all of this. So the team changed while he wasn't there. So he had to feel his way in. You give him a whole summer league or, preseason, get used to the team, fill out himself. He'll find his place.
I agree with that. It takes time to get back, acclimated after coming back from injury for so long, And he got to get back in shape. He got to get his shooting rhythm down. So, it takes a lot, especially when you come in. Didn't he hurt his right shoulder, right? His shooting shoulder, right?
So that's what I was gonna ask. I forgot what was his injury.
Yeah, I think it was a shooting shoulder that he hurt. So, it's just gonna take time for him to get back. But like Tech said, he'll get right, man, and he'll come in the season. He'll be healthy, and they'll get to going, man.
Yeah, to win the championship, to be honest with you, you got to build a team like that. Chicago look like they going for it, man. In order to win a chip, that's the way you got to build your team. Look at Golden State. Like, you see, Golden State ain't put it together. They did it organically, so you got to give them credit for that. Chicago's putting it together. You understand? So you got to give them credit. At least they putting all the pieces in places. But they look like they going for it.
So I got a question for you, Tech.
What's up?
You see this with Chicago. What's going on with the Hornets, man?
I really can't speak on the Hornets too positively. I don't know, man. I'll be honest with you. The Hornets is a confusing organization to me.
Everybody's baffled on that one.
Yeah, because to me, it's like they play multiple roles, man. It's like, number one, I can't really tell you, bro. To me, they playing the numbers game at the same time. It's like, why did you even draft Lonzo if you're not gonna? Melo, even if you're not gonna let him just fly. It's just confusing to me, bro. I don't know. I'll be honest with you. I don't know.
It's like, to me, they're stuck in a tweener stage, whereas they don't know if they want to go full rebuild or they don't know if they want to go after the playoffs. It's like they're stuck. It's like they're
some people
stuck
eating
right
over there in Charlotte.
Yeah,
I think it's too many old people. I think it's too many
Yep.
old people running that team. That's what it is, man.
Exactly.
I mean, Mitch,
I agree.
man. I
They
think
eating over there though.
I think Mitch. I think it's Mitch time to go. I think it's Mitch time to go, man. I think they need. Be honest, man. They need a GM like that guy that's with Detroit, the Detroit Pistons right now, man. God, they need somebody like that, man.
Troy Weaver.
Troy Weaver. Yeah, they need somebody like that, man. Troy Weaver rebuilt that team. Look at what he's done in 2 years. He's done more in 2 years than what Mitch has done in 5.
They don't know. Put it like that. My opinion, I'll be honest with you. Charlotte, they don't know what to do with young players. That's what it is. They treat the way they dealing with the young players and they generate. Yo, man, listen, man. The NBA is about to switch a whole 360, bro. It's about to become a whole new league. All the old players are about to be out, and these dudes are stuck in the twilight zone because they don't know how to handle young players. And that's just where I see it. And to be honest with you, the fact that they can't handle Melo and they don't know how to build around him, it just proves it that they just don't know how to deal with young players. They treat them like kids, and they not. They NBA players.
Exactly. Yep. Good take. And you know what? They're making money hand over fist, so they don't feel the urgency to do anything outside of the norm of the way they're doing it, because all of the owners, especially Michael and the minority owners, they're eating down there in Charlotte. They don't financially, they don't have no problem. It's just that, like you say, they treat them like kids. They're too old. They're afraid of change. You know what I'm saying? And that's what happens with old people. One thing about old people would always their Achilles heels is change. They just are stubborn when it comes to change.
Yeah, and somebody said it earlier. They were speaking on it, but I think the fan base is too relaxed. They just allow anything to happen. They allow a lot of great players to come in and just flow out, and they just okay with it. And I just think they need to step up, just like I feel about my Knicks. You know what I'm saying? Once the fan base start complaining, trust me, people do different things, man.
Hey, Tom, let me ask you a question. How you feel about the move that the Knicks made? Getting that point guard, what's his name again?
Brunson.
Jalen Brunson.
I'll be honest with you, man. The reason why I sound the way I sound right now with this lack of energy is because my whole city is depressing right now, bro. When it comes to the NBA. So I'm just depressed, bro. Because they spent a lot of money on this dude, and honestly, if you're going to get a point guard, man, New York is a point guard state, bro. At the end of the day, you need to go after the best point guard as possible. Like, forget every other position. When you start with New York, you have to start at the PG position. I don't really see this dude coming in, and when I say a PG, I mean a shake it up PG, like a Kyrie, a Melo, somebody who could get in that backcourt and just make the fans go crazy. That's how it starts.
What about Murray? Would have liked him better?
Nah.
You wouldn't like Murray better?
I mean,
making noise in the Spurs, man, dropping them triple doubles, bro. He can ball.
Nah, we need, to be honest with you, bro. We need a highlight point guard, somebody who could we need a Melo. We need even Shea would be good for us. You understand? We need some Kyrie style player. We need somebody who could really start the ball rolling for us, man. You see, the problem with New York is that the seats are always filled regardless. You understand? So they just do whatever they want. But I just think, I don't know, man. I'm depressed when it comes to my city right now, bro, because
I can relate to this like that for Chicago, man. No matter how bad the team was, it's gonna be filled regardless.
Shout out Big
Our
Sammy.
biggest problem is loyalty. That's what it is. Loyalty is our biggest problem when it comes to Chicago sports team, man. And I feel like that's the biggest problem with the Knicks with the basketball, man. It's a loyal fan base.
Very, very. And we got I hate to say this like this, but we literally got people dying Knicks fans, bro, for generations, bro. They live in their whole entire the rest of their life, and they passing away, and the niggas can't even do nothing for them, bro. And they still packing the seats, bro. Like, I hate to say it like that, but I'm just keeping it 100, bro.
I tell you, bro. I tell you, 100 for real. This die-hard Knicks fan, bro. You know.
And don't get it.
I think maybe what. Let me say, do y'all feel like it's wrong for the NBA to step in and force the owner to sell a team when they don't put together a winning product for the fan base? You know what I'm saying? Perfect example, like said, like you're talking about the Knicks. It's been so long since they have put together a winning product. Should they force the owner to sell a team?
They don't step in when the team is not winning games. They step in when you're not making money.
And the Knicks is gonna make money regardless. Like, it's just
exactly.
I'm saying I feel you on that, but I'm just saying, I feel like you own it to the fans, though. You know what I'm saying? It's like, bro, like I understand you making money, but come on now, you gotta put a winning product together for them. You owe them that.
But
you can't say it's a money thing.
And I agree.
You know what I'm saying?
I agree with that unstoppable. I do, but I mean, they're not going to step in and say anything or do anything if they making what's his name the owner of the league or the commissioner of the league money. They making him money. He ain't worrying about that.
But I keep it 100, man. James Dolan stepped back, and we still can't get nothing done, and that's what's killing me. We just putting the wrong people in the wrong places. You know what I'm saying? That's just my opinion. Like, I don't even think the coach that we have, we should have that coach. We need an offensive-minded coach.
Hey, bro, you know what's funny about that? I told Clay when they hired Tom Thibodeau, I'm like, bro, he is not the coach. He's not it. He's stuck in the past, man. And like you said, he need a old coach. He's just so focused on defense. It's like, bro, it's more than that. It's just defense, man. So,
that's the point.
Yeah, I'm curious to see what he does with the new point guard he just got, because when you think about it, that's not his type of point guard. You know what I'm saying? I don't know. Maybe he'll be gone.
But you see, that's the problem, though. Nah, that's the problem. Based on the coach that we have, is the type of players that we end up receiving. That's what I'm realizing. Because Tom Thibodeau, he's the one that's making those decisions. You understand? Regardless, we got the GM and all of that, but the players that they're getting is to match the coach. You understand? They need to get players to match the city, bro. That's the problem, man. You know what I'm saying? So that's why I don't think he needs to even be there. He should be an assistant coach or be a defensive coach. He could be a defensive specialist if he want to do that.
I think he'd be perfect as a defensive specialist. As far as a head coach, I think that ship has sailed, because he's proven that he can't adjust and he can't make changes. I'm only speaking from this because he was once the Chicago Bulls coach, so I'm very familiar with him. And it's just some things he don't want to change.
Put it like this, man. The way the league is today, defense does not matter until the playoffs. And if you have a coach that can't even get us there, then what's the point?
I'm sorry, guys, for stepping in, but I hadn't heard. Which coach are you guys talking about?
Tom Thibodeau.
Oh, what about him? Good or bad? What's going on?
Just saying, it's like it's an offensive league, and he's all about defense. Like, and you need that offense to get your numbers up so you can put yourself in a position to get into the playoffs. Then he could become a factor, probably. You understand? But if you can't even get us to the playoffs with your offensive system, what are you there for?
Well, I always thought he needed an offensive assistant coach that can run that the side of the ball. But Tom is so fat-headed, it's hard for him to probably even do that. You know what I mean?
Bro, he's stubborn. Listen, man.
Yeah,
I told
him being
you
so
before,
stupid.
the front office of Chicago Bulls fired Ron Adams. Then they told him to hire an offensive coach. He wouldn't do that. It's so bad, bro, that Doug Thomas called Tom Thibodeau himself. And they went out to eat. And he said, yo, I don't want to take over your team, this your team. I just want to help you out when it comes to the offensive side of things. He said he'll think about it. He called that man the next day and said, no, I'm good. I'll handle the offense on my own. He's stuck in the past.
Yo, The Knicks so terrible, bro. I'll take Stan Van Gundy right now over Tom Thibodeau. I take.
Well, no.
I'm serious, bro, because he'll put a better offense out there, bro. I'll take Mike D'Antoni back right now. Like that's just how crazy it is, man.
Y'all got y'all a nice player, Cam Reddish, and he don't even want him, fam. He ain't
that's what's crazy to me. That's what's crazy to me.
Like, man, Cam Reddish is nice, man. And that's a Tom Thibodeau type of guy.
Man, listen, I get what you're saying, Unstoppable. I like Cam Reddish too. I think he's a good young player with given opportunity. But also too as well, there is issues that's been going on talking about his motor. He doesn't work hard enough a lot of times.
Oh, I ain't hear that.
True? Is that true?
I ain't hear that. I don't know.
Yes, man. That boy, he don't work hard enough, man.
MTN gambling. We didn't watch the highlights. We watched the game. Jet looking like the real deal.
What he scored, Dex?
I think he had 24. 24, 25.
Who's that?
Chet Holmgren.
He
was north of 20.
He had 20. He had 23 points, and I think he had close
6 blocks.
He had 26 blocks and close to a double.
6 blocks.
Yeah, I think
he was throwing that shit.
He had 23 points and 6 blocks.
Yeah, he was throwing that shit. Get that shit up out of here. He's the new Marvin Webster.
he play again tomorrow too. And he said he's gonna go over 6 blocks. He said he's going over tomorrow.
Yeah, they play tomorrow, don't they?
Yeah, Pistons play Thursday. We live streaming Thursday.
All right, hell yeah. Is this true, guy? I think I just heard on another channel. Is it true that the Lakers are going to re-sign Carmelo Anthony, Dex?
Wow.
Well, I mean, that's neither here nor there for me. You know what I'm saying? Carmelo, you know.
No, the reason I'm asking because I want him on the Bulls. Shit.
No, I'm not saying it's a good or bad thing. I'm just saying that my attentive focus is on who, number 11, the point guard.
Hey, Dex, I think that ship is gonna sail. It's not gonna happen. Yeah. You guys are just gonna have to wait and get them in the off season. You don't want to take.
Okay. And I did want to ask this too. I wanted to ask you too. Is it realistic, Dex, that you go ahead and look for the deal with Indiana instead of waiting on Kyrie, or are you using that as a
LeBron? Listen, this is it. LeBron. Let me tell you what's going on in the LA streets. LeBron won Kyrie. The Lakers are not sure because now they're going to have 2 fickle-minded players. LeBron on one because LeBron's passive aggressive on another level, and Kyrie's is fickle and mercurial on the straight-up level. He don't even try to hide it. You know what I'm saying? Whatever way the wind blowing, and he feel that's the direction he should go, then he's going that direction, no matter what. And the Lakers and Jeannie Buss is hesitant to bringing those 2 dynamic players together. And when they did have some gripes among each other, although on the surface it seemed like those fences has been mended, but the Lakers just don't trust, especially the Rambuses. They just don't trust it. You know what I'm saying? How will it fare off with the Lakers? And will Kyrie, you know what I'm saying, go on a tantrum and end up causing the Lakers to go on a tangent?
Hey, Dex, I want to ask you a question. If you would have guessed, would you say Kyrie Irving will be in a Lakers jersey?
I do. Because
at the beginning of the season. I'm talking about the start of the season.
Now that's a tough one. That's a tough call. That's a tough call right there. The beginning of the season, because you already know the Lakers roster has been, since they won that championship, has been just a revolving door. You know what I'm saying? And they really want some stability because the Lakers is known as being a stable team that's always and constantly vying for a championship. So with this last 3 years of Lakers basketball, some of it has been quite disappointing. And they've been trusting LeBron and his opinions, and now it's based on Rob Pelinka. You the GM, you got to put your foot down. What do you say? Rob likes Kyrie because it's associated with Kobe, so Rob can play off that. But the Genie and the Ramesses, they're not really sure locked on Kyrie because listen, Kyrie have some baggage, okay? We understand that. But at the same time, that baggage can turn to a pestilence if Kyrie don't get his way. You feel me? And they don't want that kicking and screaming in LA and Tinseltown. But everybody in LA wants Kyrie because he's box office. Not only for the Lakers, but for the whole basketball LA sports environment. You follow what I'm saying? Kyrie can be that dude like how Shaq was. Because, you know, he's party oriented. He can get along with people. He's very articulate. He has these nice, exorbitant, high-end, you know, festivities. That's what I call them, festivities. And LA loves that. That's what LA do. You know, that's what LA is all about. You know what I'm saying? The S, the D, and the R. But now, not so much the R, but I can say the H. So if you can understand what I'm coming from on that one, the S, D, and the R. S, N, D, R. You feel me? S, D, and R. Are you guys familiar with those initials? Or you could consider it an acronym. But nevertheless, Kyrie is built for LA. He knows he's built for LA, and it's just only a matter of fact when he becomes a official member in a Lakers uniform, and Uncle Drew will be reborn again. Trust me.
But Dex, yo, all jokes aside though, don't you see Kyrie as a walking cancer, bro?
No. Because you see, listen. One thing about me,
you see a dribbling cancer. But go ahead, I'm listening.
Oh no. Okay, you talking about play or you talking about narrative? What's one?
No, I'm talking about his personality, bro. It's like this dude. Go ahead.
He fits LA. Kareem, look at Kareem. You remember Kareem?
Nah, I'm talking about his actions, man. Like the way this man could go
AC
from
Green. We have a lot of characters with idiosyncrasies.
But Dex, you're confusing those guys who showed up to work every day.
That's my
player that don't show up to work.
And not only that,
but hold on, Dex, because Kareem and AC Green, they had their thing going on with their, you know, we don't want to get into, Coach Flight don't want to get into that deep on this topic, but they had their thing going on, but they didn't let that get in the way of them playing basketball on the basketball court.
But Kareem, it almost
got there, you know, for a good reason at that time.
But
you know, but it's like with Kyrie, it's like, you know, even with them basically bending the rules for him some, he still didn't want to show up to work, and I think that's the issue.
He did. No, that's not true.
A lot of players don't want to.
He did show up to work after that.
No, he didn't.
Yes, he did.
It's not about the show up to work part. I think he'll show up to work. My thing is that the littlest tap on his shoulder makes this dude get into a frenzy, bro. He kicks up and screams like a little kid, bro.
That's why I use the word pestilence. That's exactly what you're explaining. That's what a pestilence is.
No, I'm with you, but that's what I'm trying to say. Isn't that for a professional organization? Don't you consider that as being a cancer? Because he doesn't just affect himself.
He's not a cancer in LA. In LA, he won't be a cancer. That's what I'm saying. He can only be that way with a Durant-led team because Durant is very passive himself.
But he was that way. He was that way in Boston, and he was that way at the end of.
There was nobody there to rein him in Boston. That's what I'm trying to get you to see.
But he was that way. But he was that way with LeBron. That's the reason why he left.
You didn't know it. You didn't know it until he left, right?
But
yes, you did.
No, you didn't know
really,
that.
Not
bro,
really,
he said
really. I can actually say not really. I can actually say not really because the one thing that LeBron did, LeBron shielded him.
Yes.
Shielded the media from him because LeBron basically took control of all the media because he's LeBron. He knows how to handle the media. He knows what they're going to do. He knows how to maneuver with that. So
even if
handle that.
Nah, but peep game. Even if everything that you're saying is accurate, guess what? The cat's out the bag now. So what are you gonna do? Put the genie back in the bottle? That's what LeBron has, that type of power. Because
not only that, is he bad? Just like you said, is he bad eye candy for the young players? Because they gonna see it. Even though we might not see it, Dennis.
That's my whole entire thing. And then not only that, you're gonna affect because Jeannie Buss, I mean, all due respect, women are women. You understand? And they think with their feelings first. Based on how he affects that whole entire organization, she's gonna feel away too. That's probably why.
I already said that, Talent. I said that Jeannie Buss in the Ramesses, they're not sure about that.
No, I know that you said it. But I'm just putting it into
those
my
type
context.
of people are liberal, right? They liberal, but they're a certain kind of liberal.
Right.
They're liberal as we like you, but we like you over there. You understand what I'm saying? And we don't want you messing up our thing, our gig. And that's what makes LeBron, because even though LeBron can have some rebel in him, his rebel is still going to make you money. You're not losing with him in his rebellions.
You see,
but Kyrie is a different story.
But you see, this is another thing that I'm trying to get at too, because you see, regardless of LeBron making LA money, LA is already self-made. So LeBron is only making them more money. He's not really making them money. He's just making them more money. You understand? Right. But the Lakers are already self-made. So with or without LeBron, the Lakers are going to do their thing. What I'm trying to put into context is that the simple fact that now you're bringing an emotional, trust me, I want to go off on this dude a certain way, but you're bringing all of this emotion. I'm serious, bro, because this dude he's messing with my city, bro. So I'm passionate about this right now because he's really messing with my city. And the effect that he's having on New York, you're trying to tell me he can't have that effect on LA, and you're just crazy to me for saying that.
This is why. New York liberal is different from LA liberals.
I'm listening.
Because New York liberals are still kind of conservative in nature. You follow what I'm saying? Where LA liberals, they accept all the quirkiness and idiosyncrasies that you have, and they'll try to justify saying he deserves his rights too. You follow what I'm saying?
Yeah, but what I'm
New York be like, get this weirdo out of here. We don't want him. You know what I'm saying? They will get at you like that. Philly, same way. Philly will get at you like that. LA will try to psychoanalyze you and then try to put you in a category and then give you rights, give you justice and fair treatment.
Now, right, I understand what you're saying, Dex, but this is not good for Jenny Buss. Real simple.
That's where I'm going with it. You understand? It's a level
of stress factor. You know that too.
It's a stress factor level because now you're starting to make that LA name look a certain way. You understand? You're starting to really taint with the LA Laker, with that Laker name. You understand? And that's what she's gonna feel away about that. You understand?
No,
and my whole thing. Go ahead.
I'm sorry, but let me say this. Kyrie is a virus.
Trust me. No,
Kyrie is a virus. I don't care which way you put it.
Not in LA though. Not in LA. Maybe somewhere else who not.
You don't know that yet, Dex. You don't know that yet, Dex.
Listen, the owner himself was quirky. Okay.
He wasn't that quirky.
Oh, you should be surprised.
And guess what? He didn't have to perform on the court. He could be quirky up in the box.
But what I'm saying is that they welcome these. They're like the Raiders. You know what I'm saying? The Lakers is like the Raiders in basketball. The Raiders and the Cowboys, especially in the heyday, that's what the Lakers are. We know that we're going to get some pestilence. We know we're going to get us some weirdness. We know we're going to get us some sternness, some rebellion, some fight the power type stuff. We're going to get a combination of all that. But guess what? Play basketball. That's all we want. And I think Kyrie would do that. Remember when Dennis Rodman, people talk about the Bulls, right? People talk about the Bulls with Dennis Rodman. But people don't tell you, before he got to the Bulls, he made a stop. Guess where that stop was?
LA.
San Antonio?
It was in LA.
It's in LA.
We was the first team to take Dennis Rodman after Popovich tried to besmirch the man. We accepted all that. And guess who the coach was? Rambis.
Yep.
But you understand what I'm saying? Rambis didn't want to deal with it. See, that's why I can tell you about Rambis. Rambis didn't want to deal with Dennis Rodman. But Buss said, this is our guy. Either you want to coach him or I'll find somebody else to coach him.
But Dex, I think Kyrie's a different animal. I think he's a totally different animal.
Bro.
Marrying yourself?
I think he's worse than Rodman. I think he's worse than Rodman.
Nude? I don't know about that.
No, he's worse than Rodman. Well, he disrupts the team more. Listen,
come on, bro. How can you
Rodman was up? Listen, wait a minute. One thing we all can say about Rodman is he played ball. He came to work every damn time he came.
But not only that, you just guess what? Rodman's kryptonite was not words. Kyrie let words get to him, bro. He let just speech. Just a person could just say something, and this dude is going off into la la land with his shit, bro. And that's my whole entire thing, bro.
You just said the key word, la la land. There's your answer.
Oh, Lord have mercy.
You brought it full circle.
Good take. Good
Well,
take. I give you credit for that.
I think Dex is more into his heart wanting him on his team, trying to cover up for him than anything. Dex, are you sure you want this cat?
I'm reading CW Best Buy. You crazy with that one. But go ahead, Marvin.
No, I mean, I believe your heart is in it, getting him more than helping the team, than more than knowing how bad he could be for the team.
Listen, we had Sean Rooks, we had Eldon Campbell, we had a lot of quirky dudes doing a lot of quirky.
Yeah, none of them compared to Kyrie. None of them compared to Kyrie.
And not only
Lamar
that, bro,
Odom went up for a dunk and a crack pipe fell out of his shorts.
Guess what, Dex? Every single
y'all remember
name
that?
Can I say one important thing? Every name that you call in, when they were quirky, there was no social media. They didn't have their own way of letting out their outbursts.
Hold on, hey,
but
Marvin.
it's still there. That's the whole point.
I want to address this. Marvin, you really think that Kyrie Irving is worse than Dennis Rodman?
Oh yes, in a different way. In a different way. Yes, he's more disruptive. He's more disruptive for your organization.
Amen.
He can ruin your fucking organization. One thing, Rodman, he had a lot of shit going on about himself. Everything was based on Rodman's individual things.
That's
I think you're being too harsh. He said ruin your organization.
Who's that speaking? Marvin?
Yeah, he can ruin your organization. Yeah, it's Marvin.
Yo, Marvin, salute to you, bro, because you just.
Marvin.
Huh? I'm sorry. What's that?
That's the word Talented was looking for. Ruin.
I'm saluting Marvin because he's covering everything I'm saying so lovely, bro. It's like I'm laying down the base and he's just
all I'm gonna tell you is this: I have never had Kyrie on my team. I have never had Kyrie on my team, but I've seen what he can do, and I've seen how. What's that? Go ahead, superstar. Go ahead.
It's two things you're missing.
Thomas Bryant was at the Drew League hanging out with Zoe.
When it came to Kyrie, when it came to Dennis Rodman, he had an organization that understood him. But the key part was, actually, I want to say that he had fucking Michael Jordan that knew how to handle him.
And that's what Dex is trying to say with LeBron being there.
Right. So
and that's, I give Dex his props on that.
No, what y'all gotta understand with Rodman,
somebody to understand him and know how to deal with him. He don't have that.
You know what the difference is between Rodman and him? Rodman actually had, regardless of how crazy Rodman was, Rodman actually had some form of respect for the game, bro.
Don't do that. Don't you do that, Talented.
I'm keeping it 100, bro.
I don't know how old you is, Talented, but you need to go back and look at his history with San Antonio.
Bro, the same way Artest, I know about Rodman with San Antonio, man. He was a wild boy. That's when he started forming. Literally, when he started doing the color in the hair and all of that, that's when he started. You understand? So, But after a while, when he got with Chicago, he respected Mike so much. That's why he was able to keep himself within a box. He was still being himself.
About Kyrie.
But see,
Kyrie
that's respect nothing but Kyrie, bro.
You're right, but Dex is trying to say that LeBron James can do that for Kyrie. That's what Dex is saying.
Kyrie don't respect nothing but Kyrie. If he just did it to KD, he did it to LeBron and went to the Celtics.
But he apologized for that, and he understood.
So what? You can say
apologize.
But that's
he
the
did.
point.
He did.
But
he
no. But Peep, everything you're saying is accurate. But that's the point but that's the mental issue that I'm trying to tell you this guy has, bro. He falls back, bro. So you think he's not gonna fall back on LeBron too?
Yeah. That's like shooting somebody and then picking them up and say, "Man, I'm sorry."
Man, I'm sorry. Thinking they ain't gonna shoot your ass again.
Did that bullet hit you? Oh no, we can't.
Come on, man, let's go have a drink.
And that's the detrimental part. Go ahead, brother.
Yeah, I just want to tell Dex this. I know you want a winning club up there, Dex. I know you want to win, but do you have to go to this extent to want this guy? Is it that bad?
Did the Raiders do it? Did the Dallas Cowboys do it? Hell yeah.
Look, man, I see them as being a playoff team with Kyrie, but I don't see them going to get no ring.
Just never know.
Well,
I don't.
Wait a minute, Talented. They did get Troy Brown Jr., so they might get there.
Somebody announced that Thomas Bryant went back to the Lakers.
They ain't getting
Who was that? Was that Isaiah? Yeah. Isaiah Curry 15 announced Thomas Bryant is now a Laker.
There you go. Now you're moving in the right direction, brother. Now you're moving in. And also, Dex, will you guys sign Buddy Hield?
That was so funny about it. He was at the Drew League, Thomas Bryant.
Dex, will you guys sign Buddy Hield and get away from this Kyrie thing?
No, we don't want no Buddy Hield. He's not a winner.
Well, that's who's next on line. That's who's next in line. Him and Miles Turner.
Y'all should have got Buddy Hield instead of Russell Westbrook, bro. Buddy Hield fits the LeBron James system.
Yo, Dex, you know what Genie Bus is thinking right now with the Rambuses? They thinking about trading LeBron straight up for KD, bro.
Talented, I got a question for you. You a Brooklyn fan?
I won't even dignify that with a response.
That's what they're thinking about right now. Yes, I'm a Brooklyn fan, brother.
Oh man, I know you pissed off.
Nah, I'm hurt, bro. I'm hurt. I'm not even gonna lie to you, bro. But honestly, I just think they need to put their foot down and tell KD, yo, either you play or sit, man. We got you for 4 years, buddy.
And you know, KD he probably just sit, man. It hurt y'all more.
No, it won't. No, it won't because he want to leave. No, it won't because he want to leave anyway. So sit your ass right there. Then. That's what I would do.
Wait a minute, Ted. You got Kyrie for 1 more year, right? You got 1 more year with him, right?
Kyrie's excluded. They could get rid of Kyrie tomorrow. I wouldn't care.
Look, and you know
they can piss KD off as much as they want to piss KD off. I don't care.
Hey, look.
To be honest with you, why y'all even came to my city if that's what y'all gonna do, man?
I said that same thing. You wasn't on here.
No, Marvin. Come on now. We got to stop putting the blame on them. The only reason why this is going to turn out this way is because how Brooklyn is not going to re-sign Kyrie Irving. And Brooklyn got Kyrie and KD pretty much as a package deal.
Wait a minute.
You can't have one without the other.
Okay, but wait. Let me respond. His contract is not up until next year. He wants it early. That ain't the organization's fault.
Yeah, it is. Take care of him. Again.
No, it is not. You don't have to sign him before his contract is up.
No, we both know that Brooklyn don't want him.
He opted in because he wanted that paper, bro. The man is lost close to 17 million, bro. So he just wanted his paper. He was leaving regardless. See, what KD doing is off circuit. I don't even know why KD putting his loyalty into this dude like this.
I'm telling you. I never understood why KD wants to get involved in this. It's putting his own legacy on the line, and it's making him look more like a diva than any damn thing.
I don't think it is. I don't know how it is, because like I said, it's a package deal.
Come on, man. Listen.
You got it.
Let me say this. Hold on, Sapo. Let me say this. Hold on. I've been my own man for a long time. And for me to follow somebody else because of their feelings, and I don't necessarily have those same feelings, does not make me my own man. And I believe that's what KD.
Nah, you know what
KD is running.
How you know KD don't have those same feelings though?
Kyrie got the gift of gab, bro. Kyrie got the gift of gab.
He didn't say. The reason I say that is because he didn't say nothing like this until Kyrie was crying about his shit.
Again, listen. I'm a free agent. Listen, you want me to sign? When you sign with your team, you gotta say this is what I want. Remember, players nowadays they wanna play on the same team. So if you want me, you gotta take this guy. And long as you be loyal to me and him, long as you be loyal to him and I, you know what I'm saying?
Okay, so unstoppable. I'm gonna end this conversation by asking you this: would you take Kyrie on the Bulls?
Would I take Kyrie on the Bulls? No. I got a reason why. You know.
Yeah. Okay. Well, I was just asking.
Let me hear that reason. Besides, they got Lonzo Ball already. What's your reason?
No, I was gonna say longevity. He ain't guaranteed to be you 60 games.
I don't want that virus on my team. I don't want that headache.
I think he can get you over that hump.
No.
Well, what about Lonzo Ball? Is Lonzo Ball guaranteed to be there 60 games?
But no, but that's a whole different issue. That Dex, you know that. That's injury issue. That ain't him
Well,
going out to the beach and shit and said I ain't gonna come to work tomorrow.
but availability is availability, no matter what it is.
Yeah, but reason
Okay,
same
put it
thing
like
on your
this.
regular job. If you got a doctor's excuse, you get excused. If you just
Okay,
call in
no,
and
put
say
it.
you don't want to come, they liable to fire
No.
your ass.
I'm gonna say this. Since Dex
You know
put it
that.
that way, then look. Since Dex put it that way, let's just say they both are guaranteed to give you 40 games. Honestly, I'll take Kyrie.
All right, then.
I wouldn't. I think Lonzo got a more upside. I wouldn't. I wouldn't get Lonzo up for nobody in the
Yeah.
league right now.
People don't understand this though, bro. One of the most important things to a team is called chemistry, man. Right? And that is not something that's gotten overnight, bro. So when you have a player like Kyrie, bro, that will always make your chemistry percent go up and then go down and then go up and go down, you can't get anywhere, bro. You're just running around in a circle.
Cavs, though. He had good chemistry with the Cavs. He had pretty good chemistry with Brooklyn. With Boston too.
Behind the scenes.
No, but let's just keep it a buck. The reason why he ain't signed with Boston, he told Boston, like, look, I want to come back if you want to have me. You know what I'm saying? I don't think Kyrie went over there and destroyed everything.
Yo, I'm glad you said that because look what they were missing this year as to the reason why they couldn't get a chip, a point guard, right?
Point guard. Yep.
All right, so if he had re-signed with them,
that ain't Kyrie's fault.
no, oh my goodness, man, you're not getting what I'm trying to tell you though, man. But okay,
what you trying to tell me?
I'm speaking in terms of chemistry, bro. I'm just saying once you leave the team got to restart their chemistry. You understand? You got to really understand that one player changes chemistry, bro. You understand? Especially if it's a major player that's part of your starting lineup. Chemistry is something that's gotten over years. For example, look at Golden State. Their chemistry at 100%. That's why they could drop anybody in and they could still get somewhere because that chemistry has not fallen, bro. You understand what I'm trying to say? So all they got to do is just plug in new players to fall into the chemistry that they already have. So these things take years. You understand? I mean, we don't live forever.
Yeah, and also I want to address this to Dex. Do you think it's a good thing to bring Kyrie in after the year the Lakers had? If it's not a success, it's going to be even worse in LA.
Along with Jeannie Buss is worried about.
Lakers need all the help they can get, man. They need every damn body, man.
Exactly.
If you're looking for Kyrie help,
we need Jesus,
you're looking for the wrong kind of help.
Moses, we need Muhammad, we need Abraham, we need everybody.
Let me get this one question out to Dex while he eats, though.
They even gonna call him. They gonna call him Shaq and ask Shaq to come out of retirement, man. Help their ass up. Come on,
Dex,
man. We need you.
Dex, I got a question for you, man. And I just want to know, do you see a lockout coming?
Yeah, that's another question.
That's interesting.
Because I see it.
I do. I do too, because of the way these damn players then took advantage of all the stuff that they could do. And what they did was made it bad. They didn't made it bad for the young players that's coming up. You know what? I wanted to say this. My brother back home in Chicago, he told me this a year and a half ago when these guys was doing this and following each other and trying to team up, that this was what it's going to do is cause a lot of problems to the younger players that are coming in. They the ones who are going to suffer from this because of what these guys have put together and what they didn't start doing in the NBA. These billionaire owners are going to come together and try to put a stop to it. So I see a lockout coming, most definitely.
Amen. I see it coming. Right down the pipeline.
Because Dex said all the time, inmates running an asylum. It's getting out of hand.
All right.
It's a partnership, though. That's why they label it as a partnership. So if it's a partnership and if somebody else ain't holding up their part of the bargain, then you have a right to sever that commitment.
That's right.
All right.
I hate to say it, but it's probably what's going to happen. You know, I was just speaking to somebody else, and they were talking about the difference in contracts in the NBA and the NFL. And I stopped everybody from talking, and I explained to them this. That's why the NFL are who they are, the most the richest organization in the world. They don't bullshit. They take care of business. They stop it before it starts, and if it started, they gonna damn sure stop it. The NBA lets stuff go on too long, and they let shit go crazy. Now they ain't got all these young people involved. I'm not knocking young people, don't get me wrong, but old businessmen who billionaires, they're shrewd and they run it by a certain way. If you try to change it, they'll put their foot down. And
I disagree.
All right, I'm just telling you
the reason why the NFL is so rich is because they hold 100,000s at a time, 60, 80,000s. Where the NBA, the max they get is what, 18?
Yeah, but they play way more games.
It don't matter.
Yeah, it does matter.
No, it don't.
What do you mean it don't matter? All right, here's a question. Do you think at the end of the year, wait a minute, do you think at the end of the year the attendance is higher in the NBA or the NFL?
Probably NFL.
I don't think so.
I think the most attendance is baseball, of course.
And baseball
got big stadiums though. Baseball plays.
Yeah, they hold more. They hold more.
I mean, the NFL holds a whole lot. They just don't play as many games. While in the same sense, NBA plays more games with less of a crowd, but
a lot
the
less
revenue
of a crowd.
Most
Most NFL games are sold out. You know that, right? Even the worst teams.
Oh yeah.
There's only a few teams that probably don't fill up the stadium.
What is the average in the NBA? Teams selling out their stadium?
I'll probably maybe about 50% of the NBA.
I think it's higher than that.
Top 15 teams.
But you can't front neither though. The NBA does play 82 games.
That's right. That's what I was saying.
But
they
it
play
doesn't
more
matter
games.
if you play 80. It don't matter if you play 82 games when you only got about 67,000 people in it.
Yeah, in the stands.
What I'm trying to say is because they play 82, it gives you a greater chance for people not to come to a game. You understand?
Right,
The
I was
NFL,
getting ready to get to that. Yeah, you're right. Because I was
because the
gonna get to that.
NFL play a
Every
limited
game is
amount of
important.
games.
Right.
People,
And plus,
exactly.
And plus, if your team is not good, it gives you way more chances not to come to the damn game.
Well, there you go.
You see with the Pelicans, they put the Pelicans on TV one game, right? And man, you can count the people in the stadium. This before CJ McCullough got there, and it was on national TV.
Well, I'll tell you one thing though: the NBA, starting from this year here, they're trending upwards. Now, this ugly lockout is looming. If it rears its ugly head, it's gonna mess the NBA up, guys. Because they were trending upwards. They trending upwards from this year.
But you
talking about the NBA?
Yeah.
And NBA's doing good.
But you know why they're trending up also though, and a lot of people don't want to admit this, but it's not necessarily the older players, it's the new players that's coming in that's practically changing. You understand? Because you got a new generation of people that actually enjoy the game. You understand? And the NBA did their job. They reached out. They got foreign players coming in. All of that is going on. And and mind you, it's all of these American players that's putting the NBA in the position that it's in. They're just taking advantage, bro. It's just.
I'll say this. I want to say this in reverse. And you look at the NFL. I believe the old NFL was better than the new NFL is today, but they haven't lost a dime. But I really believe that we used to like that show that came on Saturday, the hardest hits, the hardest knockouts, and all of that.
Right.
Well, that's not allowed in the NFL no more.
Right.
Exactly. But it didn't hurt their revenue in a sense because it's the NFL. But they actually moved to a different era and a different, way of playing without losing their audience simply because they're the NFL. Now, in the NBA's case, I don't miss the old NBA, but I don't think this new age analytics things is so much grander. I'm not real fond of the 3-point shot, but it is for the younger generation.
But that 3-point shot been there forever though. They've been there forever.
Well, not forever now, not forever, but it's been there.
What, 81 or something like that? 82?
When Mike played, when Mike was in college, there was no 3-point shot, man.
Nope. And it didn't change the landscape, is what I'm saying. I don't think that because the NBA just started trending upwards in the last 2 years.
Somebody looked to see when the 3-point shot was initiated in the NBA, not college, but the NBA. Because college got onto it later.
And also, while you look and see when the NBA started trending upwards, and like you just stated, Dex, the 3-point shot has been in the NBA for a long time. So that didn't change the landscape of the NBA. I don't think that was it. I think the younger players, had more to do with it than anything.
It was
Michael Jordan changed the landscape of the NBA.
No, and then you know who did it after that? It was introduced in '79. To be honest,
Exactly.
But I'm gonna keep it on it. Michael Jordan changed it, but Steph Curry took it to another level for the generations. You gotta give this man his credit, man.
And that was only because of the 3-point. But that was only because of the 3-point.
But you got to remember, Steph Curry came in with the LeBron era. So who we get a credit to, LeBron or Steph?
Not Steph.
What about
that
LeBron?
was because of the excitement. That was because of the excitement of
because when you look at it,
LeBron is the reason why Kyrie and Durant is doing what they're doing right now. That's what he changed. The business side. I give him credit for that. 110%. I will give him credit for that. You understand? But on court, in between the lines, that's Steph, man.
Well, you got to say 3-point. Actually, that's what it is.
No,
let me say this: without a 3-pointer, Steph Curry wouldn't even be acknowledged as much as he is. Am I lying?
No, I agree. But what you're saying is accurate. What I'm saying is he started shooting from 40. You understand? He started shooting from 30.
Well, you can't just say that because World Be Free, he made his name shooting long distance shots.
Nah, but ain't nobody shooting the way Steph shoots, bro. Like
we're not denying that. We're not denying that. He's the best shooter. He could be the best shooter ever.
Period. And it's not just where he shoots from, but it's how he shoots also. It's just the effort. It's effortless. Like you know what I'm saying? Like ain't nobody shoot like that ever.
I can tell you like this, Dex. Steph Curry would be a monster on the Lakers. He would blow the NBA up.
But that's not happening, so that's dream history.
I know it. I'm just saying, but I'm using that for example.
We want Kyrie, damn Steph. Steph can stay where he at. Kyrie kills Steph 101.
Now wait a minute, Dex. If Steph was on the damn list of yours, you'd be having a damn fit. See, you so biased. It's a damn shame.
I'm biased, and I know that's not going to happen. So why even think like that? I'm wasting brain matter.
I'm just saying, if he was on your radar, you wouldn't be speaking of him in that sense. Is what I'm saying.
All I'm saying is that 1-on-1, Kyrie will kill Steph.
What you mean? With nobody else on the floor?
Yeah, I don't care if it's somebody on the floor or not. If they just go 1-on-1.
Somebody in the chat, look up their matchups.
Nah, I'll be honest with you. I agree with them but it's not even about game. It's about mindset. Kyrie's just a fucking animal, bro.
Okay, so I guess I go to this question index.
Kyrie's strong for a slim dude, bro.
Hold on.
Strong,
here's the question: is Steph better than Kyrie? Question to you, Dex.
I think Steph could be better than Kyrie as a team player, yeah, but individually, no.
Nah, 1-on-1, I don't think. All around. Well, Steph is not even that much of all-around play.
Exactly.
You know what I'm saying?
Another question.
Steph is really a two guard, to be honest.
All right, so one more question, and taking out their attitude and what they mess up or bring to the game. Which one of the two would you start your team with?
Steph.
So why wouldn't he be a better player than Kyrie then, guys? Because
listen. What you're not getting, Marvin, is I think they explained it to you. I think quite a few times. Kyrie is the more talented player.
Okay, well, I can agree with that.
Steph is the more player that you build your team around.
I can agree with that.
I'm gonna win more games. I'm gonna win more games with Steph because he could fucking shoot from anywhere. 3 is more than 2.
And plus, he keeps his head focused on basketball. He don't try to get into politics or into social activism and things of that nature. Steph don't do all that. He just play basketball and move forward.
I said take that away.
Yeah, you said
leave all that out. That's the reason I said that. Leave all that out.
Oh, okay.
But if you take Steph and Kyrie and lock them in the gym and to play 1-on-1 half court, bro, Kyrie would destroy him. I don't care what you tell me. Kyrie mindset is just, and he's strong, bro. Kyrie's very, very strong for a slim dude, man.
Well, let me ask you, whose fault where do you lay the blame? Is it Kyrie or the Brooklyn organization?
Kyrie mindset.
So obviously you blame Kyrie.
Yeah, because the reason why I do is because they gave him the opportunity. It's like, you could blame Brooklyn also because at the end they don't want to relinquish that type of power. But at the same time, you got to respect the fact that they relinquished you that type of power. You understand? So it's like somebody giving you an opportunity, giving you a job that you never thought you could do. You understand? The least you could do is live up to what they gave you the opportunity to do. You understand? Even if you're not the greatest at it, at least try to become. You understand? And that's the problem. Instead, you're taking advantage of it. So because they give you extra days off, you want to take more than what they give you just because you know that they gave you that power to take extra days off. It's like you don't do that. That's just how I feel about it, man. You got to respect when people do things for you, bro. That's just me.
Yeah, I agree with you. I think he's a cancer. I think he's a total cancer.
Yes, he is. And he rubbed off on KD. And mind you, KD...
I don't believe that. No, I'm not going to let y'all get away with that without being challenged. He's not a total
you can challenge it.
cancer. He's not
Dex,
a total
his
cancer.
reputation, Dex, his reputation precedes him. You tell me where he's been a good teammate on any team.
I'm telling you, he won a chip with LBJ, and he's going to win another chip with LBJ.
That don't mean it was roses.
That's what you call hoop dreams. That's what you call hoop dreams, what you just said right there. That is hoop dreams.
Okay.
Understand?
Let him come on that team.
And I don't even.
And then somebody said they signed Kyrie. I mean, somebody said they signed Carmelo Anthony. Let him come out on that team. He will open it up for Carmelo Anthony, because Kyrie's a wizard with the ball, so he will draw everything to his gravity, to his central point.
But you see, that's what I keep trying to tell you, Dex. The problem is not Kyrie on the court. The problem is Kyrie off the court, man. That's what I'm trying to tell you.
I already went over that though.
And the problem is that his off the court mentality, not his activity, his off the court mentality affects everybody on the court. That's what I'm trying to explain, man. Like I can understand if
I don't think he's not going to do all that out there. I mean, he's not going to do that in LA. I'm telling you.
I hear you, but you just snake the snake.
Well, I got a couple of guys in the chat that hold on, Dex. I got a couple of guys I want to read their comments in the chat. And what they read is this. Y'all act like Steph don't kill Kyrie in playmaking and passing. That's from Josh, from Basil. Kyrie not even been hasn't even never been on the NBA first team. Curry's a two-time MVP. Also, Josh writes again, Steph been a good defender in the last few years too. So
I already admit that Kyrie's a better team player.
Exactly. I don't know what they're listening to.
Yeah.
Well, they feel that Steph is better. I'm just letting you guys know.
I mean, well, yeah, I see their comments.
We all agreed that.
Yeah.
We're just saying that if you lock them both inside of a basketball gym and gave them half a court to play one-on-one, Kyrie would kill him. That's what we're saying. But within a game situation, 5-on-5, Steph is way better than Kyrie.
There's reports. There's
you correct to say that?
Listen. There's reports when Kyrie was on the USA team, right? That he was beating those players one-on-one. I think only two players beat him. I think it was Kevin Durant and Kobe. But everybody else, he was spanking them, no matter the size.
Well, his handle is so good. His handle is off the chain. Yeah, his handle is off the chain. It's going to be hard to guard him one-on-one. I agree with that.
Isolation, he has it, bro. Hands down. Isolation, one-on-one, it's Kyrie all day. That's what he does. That's his game, period.
But then after the game is over, if there's a team meeting, he going to fucking Iraq and everybody else in the meeting. That's where the problem lies, Dex.
So Dex is welcome in the shade. What you call that? That he be Sage? Yeah, he's gonna welcome the Sage to LA, man. That's all good, man.
And to me,
but they doing that already. My girl do Sage shit. Every time I come in the house, she's saging, and every time I leave, she's saging. So who the problem? Me?
No, Dex. How many more people are doing it? Is it the majority?
Different, bro.
Man, they've been saging out. That's what I'm saying. He fit all
but
that.
Is
fit,
it
man.
the majority?
Sage,
is
yoga,
it the majority?
meditation, what you call that shit?
Well, okay. Let me say this. I'm one of the guys. If everybody going one way, I go the other. But I don't go that other way and put an elephant on the top of my fucking head so I can be seen. So you need noticed.
He's funny. Yo, that shit is funny.
And that's a description I want to give you.
LA will welcome him. LA will cater to him because
I know he will.
LA has a bunch of quirky people too, so he fits right in. He don't stand out like a sore thumb. He fit right on in there. Come on, Kyrie, be amongst us. Get your flowers. Put your flowers
I mean,
in your hair.
here's an example of it. People didn't think that Rodman would fit with the Bulls.
We want
But
world peace.
he was real. He was reeled in by Jordan, and it worked. Now, who's to say that? Who's to say that this couldn't happen with LeBron James?
Marvin, the same thing that happened with Ron Artest and Kobe Bryant is what happened with Rodman and Jordan. It's just the respect factor. Artest wanted to play with Kobe, so once Artest got with Kobe, Artest ain't want to do nothing but please Kobe. You understand? It's the same situation with Rodman. Once Rodman got with Mike, he like, damn, dog, I'm playing with MJ. You understand? If you're saying that LeBron has that type of power, then that's fine. But I know Kyrie ain't looking up. Kyrie's not looking up.
He is.
Like, put it like this. If no. Pete Game.
I know I messed that up.
You know who would have been able to reel Kyrie in if he was to go play with them? Rest in peace, Kobe. You understand? That's a difference. Kyrie's not looking at LeBron like how you look at Kobe.
He almost gonna look at him as a rival. He's gonna almost look at him. Let me do this. Let me do this. The way he is in his mindset now, he's gonna almost be jealous. Dex.
You understand? Man, mind you, we got an older LeBron.
Kyrie realized, being 4 years removed from LeBron, he realized the type of atmosphere that he was in, and he just hadn't accommodated himself with that. It was very uncomfortable. He needs to be under the LBJ umbrella. It just certain players just need that. He thought he can go branch out on his own. He thought his wings were strong enough to fly in the torrent wind, but unfortunately, it wasn't.
But Dex, let me ask you this question.
Why are you laughing, Marvin?
Dex,
because you can come up with some scenarios, brother.
Everything you just said, are you trying to tell me that KD didn't carry that same aura? So what's the difference?
No, KD don't carry that aura like LeBron.
Yeah, KD's a different. He's a different makeup. KD's a different makeup. He'd rather just play. He don't really want the limelight on him. He really doesn't.
Right.
I mean, KD is a total. He could be a total team player. He can. He could. I mean, now I don't picture him doing the right thing, following in Kyrie's footsteps, or saying, okay, I'm gonna go because he's gonna go. I don't believe that. But I believe he's going to be better without Kyrie. I think he ain't played with him number one time, and he always been the same. So I think KD's a little different than LeBron. Now I'm kind of skeptical about what Dex is saying about how strong LeBron will handle Kyrie. I'm not quite sure about that.
Did he handle Russ? And Russ from LA.
But Russ ain't like that. Russ ain't even a half of a Kyrie. Russ ain't half of Kyrie.
Stubborn on the court. Kyrie's not stubborn on the court. Russ is stubborn on the court.
No, first of all, if you look at Russell Westbrook last year, Russell Westbrook played that whole season confused.
Yep.
Right? That whole season confused, bro. Because Russ only knows how to play one way, and he's just confused the whole season as to how he's going to play another way. And the reason why is because LeBron is there. You take LeBron, every time LeBron ain't played, Russ had a good game, bro. Russ played like Russ.
Yeah,
that's true. I give you that.
And also, you can use that in the same way like how Obi Toppin did in New York under Tibbs. He was afraid at first, and then finally when Randall messed up and he got in, Obi, kind of spread his wings and played better. So it can actually work that way, Dex. But I believe we're just trying to tell you something that you get what you wish for.
I don't know if Obi was afraid because I saw him in the summer league, and I don't think he was afraid. It's just that was the pecking order. You follow what I'm saying?
He said it himself. No, he said it himself. He said that he didn't want to get out there and do anything wrong because he felt that Tibbs would pull him. He said it himself. Yeah, and then he felt more comfortable at the end of the year.
Yeah, but wasn't he a rookie last year?
No. This is third year.
Second. It's third year.
Now
it's second year. Going into
he came in the same year that LaMelo came in.
All right.
And I'm referring to this year. I'm referring to this year though. He wasn't a rookie.
You can't. But that was his second year. But you got to understand something though. He's still learning the game. You understand? And then when you're playing with a coach like Thibodeau, who's so hardcore, you understand, you're going to walk on eggshells. It's unfortunate. I mean, when it comes to Randall been in the league for a minute now, so he can kind of get away with a little bit. You understand? Because he has a certain amount of accolades towards him. You understand? Not all-star and all of that, but he been in the league.
He got most improved. And he was an all-star. So yeah, you're right.
Right. So he's not going to walk on eggshells.
I guess you could say that. And Tibbs, just his repertoire, I mean, his reputation is he don't really.
We about to get up out of here. We appreciate y'all. We're gonna tap back in tomorrow. This was a hell of a show. Shout out to Marvin, Unstoppable, Ted, my man Dex, Rave, everybody that showed up. Salute to the chat, Josh Jackson, Basil. We love y'all. Let's Flight Sports. Pull up tomorrow.
Flight Sports TV, man. That's my dude. I rolls with him.
You heard what the man said. It's Flight Sports TV.
Flight Sports TV, that's where it's at.